previous session as much as you can remember.
Well, okay. After we rested and recuperated with the barbarian sword, well, then Pouncer decided to start a chant to rise up against Strahd. Nobody joined in. And then the next day, we set off to dig up
Whole family joined in. What the fuck?
Nobody joined in.
You got the Martikovs in on it. What the fuck?
Well, anyway, aside from Pouncer's failed rebellion, we set off to dig up the Golterias tree by the roots once and all, and that ended in a nearly spectacular failure because, well, it had legendary actions and then just kept strangling us one by one, and then finally, when all hope was lost, Summer had a sudden flash of not inspiration, of divine intervention into her mind that it's time to break the goddamn stick once and for all. And so she did. She ran to Soul's unconscious body, took the staff and broke it, and therefore sundered the entire power of the wood blight on Barovia once and for all. But then, with her expertise on gardening, she told us to dig it up root and stem. And therefore we did, and therefore the presence of wood blights was removed from Barovia forever. Mwahaha. And then we gained a level, and then we headed back to the Widowy to give the good news. And then we headed back on to what's the town again? Latvia or something like that.
Latvia. Vallaki.
Vallaki. And just in time to miss another celebration. So now that's where we left off.
Pretty much. Take inspiration and don't forget to level up your character to level 5 if you haven't already. Everyone be at level 5 now.
Not level 6? Oh.
No, not yet. You have to die at least a few more times for level 6. So, with that, all of you following the two Martikov brothers on your journey to bring whatever wine barrels you have found at the Wizard of the Wines back towards the Blue Water Inn. Your arrival in Vallaki takes roughly about the same day itself. And by the time you reach, it's closer to evening than it already... it's a little bit closer to evening than you think it is. So it's probably about 4 or 5 p.m. kind of period. By the time you guys get in, you do see that they've still have some kind of festival wreaths as well as decorations up. You do see a huge wicker ball in the center of the town as well as you pass by. But since you guys are all heading towards the Blue Water Inn, that is where we'll take you tonight, in the Curse of Strahd. So, with that, as you guys arrive back towards the inn, you guys immediately see Erwin Martikov outside, kind of like moving piles of wood back into to the tavern itself. Before he sees his two brothers, immediately recognizes them.
Adrian, Elvira, is the shipment finally here?
And the two brothers run over.
Hi, brother. It's been a long time.
And they immediately hug, immediately kind of seem like they haven't seen each other for a long time. Erwin kind of looks over to your group and just goes,
and these are the ones that helped you bring the wine back? Aye, brother, a lot has happened. Perhaps you should speak to them, but they'll tell you all this. Help us move the barrels.
Erwin immediately runs over to Lilot and just goes,
oh, friends, I don't know how to thank you all. It's, you saved us. You basically saved Barovia. The next round's on me.
And he just starts heading over to the wagon, starts moving the barrels along with his brother, and they seem happily, like, joyously talking to each other. You guys, in front of the Blue Water Inn, back again in Vallaki, after your adventures off in the wilderness. What would you like to do first?
Let's see. What do you guys want to do? Do you guys want to say hi to, I don't know, the child we left behind? Do you...
Yes, we do want to say hi to the child that we've left behind. I want to see how his training has improved.
So I don't think you would have suddenly improved in the span of how many days? You haven't got that.
3 days.
Yeah, no,
I
that's
expect him constant improvement.
Ichigo achieved Bankai in 3 days.
Weeb. I mean, what?
We go
You
in.
guys.
Let us greet the siblings first.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead. Head on into the Blue Water Inn, all of you.
Mhm.
So, jumping on in, it is a surprisingly quiet afternoon. You do see Rick Tavio sitting at the bar, just enjoying a steak by himself. Danica immediately sees you all enter and just goes, "Ah, you're back. Uh, Did uh, did you manage to get?" And kind of looks out the window towards the husband and his two brothers, like, "Ah,
They're moving the barrels. Yeah.
I see. Well, you saved us as well. You have, uh, I think, a little celebrations in order. Why don't I get you dinner and your drinks ready? And why don't you say your day's rest is on the house?
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Please go and enjoy yourselves. Sit, rest. You look like you've been on a very long journey. I'll go get the kitchen set up. Anyone? And she just yells out the door. Yes, honey. Kitchen's firing. And you see him immediately like rush towards the kitchen while the brothers are left to do kind of like outdoor chores. But for now, you guys all head on the tavern. Immediately see Arena and Ismark sitting at the side. They all kind of like they don't make a huge gesture, but they kind of just wave like, "Hey guys, we're back."
Sorry for the delay. Day's journey ended up 3 days.
You see Irina looks a little bit like happier than she used to be, like not so sullen, not so quiet. She just kind of happily looks to you all. Just you've all missed the Lord. Ismark as well also just kind of laughs and yeah, 3 days and lots happened in 3 days.
Interesting.
Well, sit down. What are you doing? Yeah, we'll fill you in.
Sure, we'll do it on our part as well.
Well, I'm guessing you guys will eventually tell your story in your part of your end first. But Ismark just goes and tells you guys, like, you missed the festival? What is it again? And Arena just goes, Festival of the Pleasant Sun. It was, well, and they both kind of look at each other for a bit before they look around and they just kind of laugh out loud for a second, like, well, it was sordid. It was uh, sad to say, but as depressing as it was actually pretty funny. And Ismail just goes, "Hey, this. We found out it's actually against the law to laugh about things like this out in the open, but well, you guys should have been here. You would have been laughing your asses off as well."
Wait, there was a law that prohibits people from laughing?
Rena just leans in closer. Apparently, there's been a lot of laws been proclaimed, and we never knew about them. Well, they have normal town laws as well. You know, stealing, assault, and murder are obviously punishable. And obviously, the parents' guards, will take you in, lock you up in the town square if you do anything minor. Um, so apparently in Vallaki, no one's allowed to speak, and she looks around. No one's allowed to speak the devil's name out loud or carry written documents with his name. If Vargas heartily believes this, just to speak the name of the devil is to summon the devil himself. So we, refer to
Can't
him
say it's a
as.
fraud, right?
She just goes, shh, not so loud. Apparently the people don't like it too. So we just refer to him as Ismail just goes, you know who.
Voldemort.
Or the devil, as you keep saying.
Or the devil, that works too. Similarly, no one shall speak poorly of the Baron or the festivals that is held here. Neither held any documents that present them in ill light. morale apparently means everything here to Baron Vargas. She kind of shakes her head. Uh, so yeah,
Eric?
everyone's here. Kind of like they need to attend the festivals. It's compulsory. And both Ismark and Irina just kind of sheepishly look at you guys and just goes, "We know we said we were supposed to lie low, but the guards came in, made sure everyone attended. We even brought a little Lucian. Oh, where is he, by the way?" And as you guys look around, yeah, you don't see Lucian anywhere passively. Anybody would like to make an active check for where Lucian is?
Yes,
I will do that.
Sure, go ahead.
Active check?
And just roll.
Active perception check.
Investigation
Ah,
or
sorry, I
perception.
missed that.
Yeah, active
Oh
perception
yeah,
check.
that's a good
Of
roll.
course, mommy.
12.
Okay. Yeah,
26.
everyone rolled high enough. All of you hear laughing from little children hiding beneath a table nearby. Do-do-do-do. And as you guys look underneath the table, you see the Martikov kids, Brom and Ray, along with Lucian there. They seem to be kind of like fiddling around on the ground underneath the table. You can see Lucian, I'll say Soul and Arthur is probably the highest one. You can see that Lucian has taken out this the carousel toy, the weird thing that he got from Blinsky's, and he's just showing it to them, and they're like, "Woo!" Yeah, apparently he's made some friends. Ismark kind of looks on the table and just goes, there he is again with the Brum and Bray. I mean, they're pretty nice kids, and I think a kid Lucian's age could need some friends. Arena just looks at you sheepishly afterwards and just goes, I've still kept up with his teachings. I've taught him as much as I can with words and with things, I guess.
That's cool. Thank you for taking care of him. While we were gone.
I tried my best. And she just sheepishly looked downwards. But anyway, you
Your
missed
best
a
is
lot.
perfect. It's fine. Thank you for taking care of him.
You're welcome. But yes, Ismark just goes, well, you should have been there. Uh, we were parading pretty much out there with unhappy folk, all dressed as flowers. She just shrugs. We were trudging through the muddy streets, pretty much leading the way for sorry men and women carrying this wicker ball. It's pretty big. The burgomaster and his family were saddled upon horses behind in the procession, and we basically kind of like walked all the way to the town square, upon which they hoisted the wicker ball into some scaffolding, and townsfolk took turns splashing it with oil. Apparently, they're about to set it ablaze, and Arena just kind of laughs, and the sky started to fall. Ismark just went, yes, and it rained really heavily immediately as that began. Uh, but that apparently didn't sour the burgomaster's wishes. And Arena nearly just kind of keels over. She holds her stomach. Just, he tried to set it ablaze, and he said all will be well. And he tried to put the torch in and put it in. It just went off. Ismark just kind of like snickers as well. It's like it was a fate of times, if you can say. Uh, well, we all kept our cool as much as we could. Nobody said anything really. It was pretty silent. But unfortunately, some fool laughed out in the crowd, drew the burgomaster's ire for a second. Uh, well, what is his name again? And Arena just kind of like sobers up a little bit and just goes, I don't remember. Lars something. He was a town's guard or militia, I think. And Ismark just goes, well, he couldn't hold his laughter, and Burgomaster immediately arrested him for spite, apparently. Um, we couldn't really intervene. Nobody really did. They just bound him by the ankles and the wrist, and the burgomaster dragged him with his horse for the amusement of all. Some people were even laughing. Irina just kind of looks a little bit more sullen then, just goes, and that part wasn't really as funny. Um, but yeah, nothing else. Oh yes, the tiger. Tell them about the tiger. Ismark just looks at you all. Guys, you all missed the tiger. Two of them, in fact.
Wasn't there a
Lie.
tiger attacking that attacked the Rune Stalker when she was lying prone on top of a carnival caravan?
She wasn't
Yeah.
supposed to be there anyway. It's fine.
Runestalker looks at you. Just, I do not remember what you are saying. I have no recollection.
Um,
A repressed memory, maybe.
the tigers are alive, right?
Ismark just goes, well, apparently, well, after the procession and the dragging around of that militiaman, uh, tigers were spotted out in the middle of the town square. Everyone ran for it, so did we, and we headed back to the Blue Water Inn. The burgomaster sent out his men to try and capture him, but to no avail. It's just weird, really. And he leans in a little bit closer towards you all and just goes, funny thing is, that man over there, is his name Rictavio?
Mhm.
He was going around telling people to not worry about it, that he would handle it and he would lure the creatures away, assuring townsfolk that tigers won't harm him. Would you believe that? Tiger is not maiming and killing people.
I believe it.
It's hard to say. I mean, these are wild creatures, but uh, whatever it is, things died down after that.
Mm.
And then you guys came back today.
Where I come from, you can actually train tigers.
Really?
Yeah.
This Arena just goes, really? It's like a big kitty cat.
Yes, like a big kitty cat. They can do tricks.
Eyes start to sparkle in front of you. Tell me more.
I tell them about the you know how like circus acts that
Sure.
tigers can do? Yeah. They can people can actually train a whole lot of things to like, tigers. They're very clever, in fact.
Okay, all right. Irina listens intently. Ismark just kind of like chuckles along. But yeah, as you all are just kind of like chilling out, um, Danica will bring over your meal for the day, so you don't have to worry about meals for the long rest for the evening. You all get served the wine that was brought over as well, and she goes, on the house, complimentary of the chef. And Erwin inside the kitchen just goes, hey, thanks again, all right. I haven't seen my brothers for like, it feels like years.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
lovely.
Danica brings over your meals. Stan kind of like heading back. Is there anything you guys like to discuss or do for the evening?
Actually, yeah, I think I want to talk to the siblings. That do you think you've outrun whatever it is you're trying to escape from?
They start to look a little bit more serious now with the kind of discussion, and they both look at each other and just go, to be honest, we're not even sure what we're exactly running her from. Irina just scratches her neck, and you can definitely see the two bite marks that are on her neck again, quite prominently. And she kind of just folds her clothes up and just goes, I don't know. We haven't been attacked or anything. It's been pretty peaceful. And Vallaki may be strange in its ways, but at least some of its people, and she just kind of like nods over towards Danica and Orin. Like some of the people here treat us much better than, well, family back in Vallaki, back in Barovia.
Okay.
Hmm.
Are you sure you do not want to go to, well, Krizek?
She kind of looks at you guys. If you all think it's necessary, but for now, unless there's a reason for us to leave this place, I think it's pretty all right that we stay here. Ismark just goes, it's not well exactly perfect, but it's a lot better than where we came from.
It's
Perhaps
not
we could,
perfect.
yeah, well, perhaps we could even, who knows, get a house. To be very honest, Irina here, and he just kind of points to her, is technically nobility, and Irina just smacks her brother in the face. Shut up. Uh, yeah, Ismail just kind of laughs and just goes, "Hey, she's a princess, she is, but technically, since our father died, Irina would be the head of the house."
Do you have a lodging in this town?
He goes, "Not at the current moment, but perhaps if we, who knows, speak to someone of note here, maybe even the burgomaster, but he's a Irina just goes, we feel like we like to avoid him and his henchmen."
You should.
Well, he's gonna have
If,
to answer to dragging somebody through the street.
if I recall, Zach has been making dolls based off Irina.
Yes, I remember. I still don't want to think about that. This is strange indeed. And Ismark just goes, who, maybe it's just someone that looks like you. You got a pretty face, you think, but everyone around here pretty much is the same. And she slaps his brother again.
Nobody's like Irina here.
That's right. Well, you you guys look like you've been through a lot, and I see that you've helped out quite a little bit around the Barovia as well. You think you guys will be staying here?
Fortunately.
For now, I suppose, but I suspect we shall be moving on in due time. How long
Yeah,
that may be is uncertain.
You see their faces go a bit sad. And just goes, "Oh, you'll be leaving soon."
Not
Not
that.
immediately, and
Not immediately, no, but we will at some point. We can't. We don't. We're not going to stick around here forever.
We're gonna start
Ismark
a
just
fight.
puts a hand onto Arina's shoulder and just goes, "Hi, Arina. Yeah, they are technically strangers from this land. They have homes and families as well. So obviously, we're not going to keep you here. You've done us a great favor already by bringing us this far."
You can join us if you want.
We're gonna start a fight against the devil.
The both of them look at each other and just goes, "Fortunately, we're not as strong and as well versed as the rest of you. We're not so sure how we can fare out there by ourselves, or even with a lot of you. We might even just be holding you back."
It's okay, it's okay. I'm the chosen one, you see?
Irina just chuckles and just goes, "I." But regardless, we are not exactly adventurous or heroes, and they look at each other and goes, "We still have our father's legacy to to endure and to live through."
Yeah. Just
So,
don't
so,
forget.
so say, if we find a way to reach project, are you all interested in still going in case anything?
They both kind of shrug. For the moment, not really, but if it's necessary and you think it's safer, then and you want us to follow you, Marina just kind of like shrugs as well. Then yes, I guess we'll follow you.
Okay, I think like
Have
at
you ever
least
been
what I
to
can.
Krezk?
They both shake their heads. We've never left Barovia before. This is our first time in Vallaki.
Well, think of it as like a vacation, a tour.
Uh,
a gap year.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
wouldn't.
I
You
I
can't be
wouldn't.
nobles if you don't know what your neighbors are like.
We could scout the place first.
Irina just goes, "I am not a noble."
Lies.
Well, technically, we sort of were supposed to take Irina to Krezek to the, well, I forgot the place, the church of, what's the saint's name again?
Right.
Wasn't it
Uh,
a monastery?
Oh, yeah.
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 It's not just close. There's a monastery there, and yes, they should be safer. But
I think
technically, nothing's really happening. So unless, well, we really need to move. Think about it. It's pretty nice here. And he just kind of leans back on his chair, kind of like the furnishings.
yeah, I mean, if Malaki is safe, then I don't have any issue with y'all staying here. It's just if Malaki is not safe.
Hmm. All right then. We'll take it on your word. Just let us
Yeah.
know, I guess.
Yeah, you let us figure things out. We'll try to see how safe Mr. Isaac Strasny is. If he is, let's say, a problem, then we might have to leave.
All right. As you say this, so you hear a little bit of a commotion outside as Irwin comes out of the kitchen. It's like, what's going on? And you see him start heading out the front door. As the doors open, you notice that outside, a bunch of men have arrived down the road, led by
Damn it.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. No. No.
We jinxed
Arena,
it.
put your hood up. Arena, put your hood up right now.
Put up. Put up. Put up. Put up.
they immediately put their hood up. You see Irwin kind of like go out to the front and just goes, Isaac, what are you doing here? The brothers immediately come over to kind of like see what's going on. The guards like all on hold. Yep. What do you want to do?
Sorry. Disguise self as Irina.
Why?
I would recommend that.
And then put my hood up as well. Twins.
Okay. All right, sure. You look exactly like Irina. Ismark looks at you. Is like, what the?
And then I put my hood up and look down.
Okay. Sure. So outside, whatever the commotion is going on, who would like to listen in?
I will.
I will.
You can make me a perception check. Unless you're standing outside, you won't be hearing the entire conversation. So
Staying
good
at the
luck.
door? Staying at the door, can I?
Yeah,
Do
stand
you
outside also, yeah.
You stand outside? Okay.
No,
So
I'm
you
not
stand
standing
right outside.
outside. I'm not
Oh,
standing
you're not standing
outside.
outside. Not standing outside.
Outside.
Okay.
Lucky. So unlucky.
So unfortunately, not hearing anything. Everything's muffled by the conversation and the people outside and things that are going on inside here as well. Pound, you can hear slight bits of conversation as well as Darian. Something about Tiger, something about um, Baron, Baron Vargas, and the last word that you definitely hear is something starting with an R, and then it just goes O, and it's hard to make out the word because he's kind of whispering it towards Erwin, and Isaac's eyes kind of like widen for a second. It is at this point in time that you all hear a glass tip over on the table as Rictavio suddenly squats down to the ground right behind you guys. Oh no, they're here to, they're here for me.
Hide.
Uh, uh,
Why are
Look.
they here for you? What did you do?
Tigers.
look! The tigers, they're fine. They're not a nuisance. They're not harming anyone. Look. I know you guys are new in town, but do you think you guys could help me?
Okay. Victavio, go to the corner and curl up into the ball, and I cast silent image to make him look like a stool.
He goes, no, thank you. Could you just looks out like the front door. Just goes, could you just distract them? I got to go get my horse, the Stilla, and my wagon and the tigers, and I got to get out of town. I can't be here.
We'll try to cover for you, but
We can make it a big distraction.
Thank you. Just thank you all. If you need me,
You can find me at the old tower to the west. I'll be lying low for now. Good luck, everyone. This is not the last you've seen of Octavio. And he immediately runs over to Danica. Danica just kind of like points towards the kitchen, and he nods, and he just runs out the back door.
What time is it?
Right now, it's probably around 5 p.m. period, close to evening.
Okay. So
But anyway, as Rictavio hits out to the back door, he disappears into the barn for a second. You guys then see the guards and everyone start to shuffle in along with Erwin. And he looks a little bit kind of like flustered and a little bit angry, but he just goes, it's all right, it's all right. Just continue with your meal.
Wait, who is saying that? Sorry?
Erwin. As he kind of like heads back towards his wife and just kind of tells her what's going on. The guards and Isaac start heading in towards the inn. And immediately everyone kind of clams up and shuts up. As Isaac stands there, just looks up. He doesn't seem happy, that's for sure. His face has this ferocious nature upon it. With his kind of like devilish, like reddish, like fiendish hand just holding this battle axe that he just kind of places on the ground. He just looks at everyone, just goes,
Has anybody seen Rictavio?
I'll
there is
stand up.
silence. You stand up.
Yeah, what other parts of town are there that we know of?
That you know of, you know about the Arasek stockyard, which is where the wagon and the tiger is. You know Blinsky's, you know the town square, you know the
So,
coffin
which is
maker.
the opposite direction of the stockyard from where that we know?
Opposite direction.
How about the coffin maker?
Well,
Coffin
technically, the furthest would be the Church of Saint Andrew itself. Since the Arasek stockyard is over here, yeah, in the opposite direction, they would be.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So, okay, well, I stand up and okay, well, first we ask nicely in pleasant company. We don't come in barging in. It's a bar, it's a tavern. If you want to ask people questions, it's common that you buy a round. So I'm assuming the next round's on you.
You
Cheers!
silence among everyone as the guards as well, just like almost their eyes widen as you say this out loud. Danica in the background and Erwin as well just kind of like give you all a look and just kind of like shake their head as Isaac sighs and just walks directly up towards you, Arthurus. You see his fiendish hand lift upwards as he kind of puts it into a fist right in front of your face.
Excuse me, you're in my personal space, please. 6 feet.
I whispered to the
Social
others,
distancing.
I do not believe that was a logical response.
If you know where Rictavio is.
And he puts his hand directly on your shoulder, not like grasping it. He just puts it lightly onto your right shoulder, kind of like right next to your ear, just goes,
It would be in your best interest to tell me where he is right now.
Do you like that hand?
He goes,
I know it looks fucked up and everything.
yeah, he
Do
looks
you
at it.
like it?
He looks at it and just goes,
Tell me now.
and he
Because if
starts
that
to
hand
grasp
is
his,
on me for another 3 seconds, you're gonna lose it.
he
My God.
immediately, as you say that, Erwin kind of backs up. Everyone kind of backs up. The guards immediately come around and surround you. They also kind of push Soul and whoever's in the way in order to surround you. So, are you guys stopping the guards from trying to surround Arthur?
Yeah.
I mean,
Soul, are you stopping them?
I mean,
I
I'm
am-
going to stand next to Atris. I'm not moving my position.
Okay, sure. So
I
you
am
guys,
We need a
you guys are
distraction, right?
I'm gonna
This is a
stand next to
distraction.
next to Darian. Yeah.
Eldrin
Yeah.
sit next to Irina. I'm gonna push this guy gently a little bit away.
okay.
Wait, before we get into any fighting, do we all have a long rest
It's
for
too
the
late.
level
I
up?
think it's getting too late for that. I'm
No,
just
no, I
like
don't want to confirm. Did we have a long rest for the level up?
Did we?
You've leveled up.
We rested at the inn at the vineyard, no?
Yeah, yeah. You
Right.
rested at the
before-
vineyard.
yeah.
Yeah, before you headed back. That's why it's 3 days. Others have been 2.5 days.
okay, yeah.
Listen, buddy,
Okay.
I know you're a big time
runs
here.
back to
Everything's
proper
full?
strength already. I'm just like, I do not understand why people do not think logically. This is completely unnecessary.
Yeah, just buddy, relax. I know where he is. I'll tell you. Just fucking behave yourself.
I do not have time to play your silly games. You will tell me
I'm
where.
trying to help you be a better human being.
And you see his like a vein start to pop and like next to his neck, and he just goes,
If you do not tell me where he is, I will
He's at the church.
rescue.
He's at the church. Okay. I act drunken and very cowardly in front of him.
You just shout he's at the church.
Yeah.
He just pushes you away, Oswald. He just points to you.
What did you say, drunk man?
I retch a bit. Then I take another swig. I saw the carnival man at the church. Just leave us alone, okay? Okay?
Make me a deception check.
I punched that.
Hold on.
Just to
Then
sell,
before,
just to sell it.
okay, in order to sell the image, I hunch over and I double down and I cast prestidigitation to make like as though the floor in front of me is coming vomit.
Sure, I'll give you advantage on this deception check if you like.
That's what he's asking for, yeah.
With a 19, as you magically and very forcibly regurgitate in front of him. Wisdom, right? Yeah, wisdom. Here we go. With a 9, he just steps backwards, just goes, oh,
Hiccup.
filthy man. Oh,
and he just looks at his shoes.
Have mercy on the poor cripple.
get back.
And at this moment in time, there is a sound out in the back, right out in the kitchen. And Isaac just turns.
What is that?
The guards immediately start heading towards that direction. Anything you guys like to do?
Curl up into a ball and pretend to be invisible.
Fuck me. No, I didn't say. Oh, what do we do? What do we do? So, what do we do?
Well, we could fight.
The heathen guy.
Wait.
Bury the children upstairs.
Wait, isn't that distracted by noise outside right now?
Oh, so hold on a second, right?
Fireworks.
Wait, 6 people are talking at the same time.
So this is what's happening. 4 of the guards have started heading over to the kitchen doors. Erwin and Danica are standing there, and they kind of like they put their spears down. It's like, get out the way. They seem frightened as they're just standing there. They're not sure whether they want to block the way anymore. They just kind of look towards the lot of you. Isaac just goes,
Find out what that is. And you said the church.
He just points at you again, Darian.
I hiccup and nod.
So anybody doing anything about the men heading to the back?
So I'm just watching
I'm
because
gonna hit there and
it's like I'm actually shooting like a
If you're
confused.
not doing anything, it's fine. Sure.
Yeah,
I'm
So
gonna tell
Pounce,
the
what are you
children to
doing?
go upstairs or something. Somewhere else.
Yeah, sure. Immediately they start heading on upstairs. But as you see them round the corner towards the stairs, they just kind of hide on the front of the stairs and just kind of watch.
Fucking kids.
I will go and pretend to help Darian.
Okay.
Phew.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
intimidate these guards.
All right, what are you doing?
What are you doing? What are you doing? I did it just to save you, lah. I'm thinking this in my mind.
Well, I don't want them messing up our like the Mardikovs, right? They're pushing the Mardikovs back. Like that's not cool. There's a way of doing this. I am a police, like I am a servant of justice, right?
True.
I think this
All
is
right.
the jurisdiction between the FBI and the police department.
This is like the LAPD and the Seattle police, like
This
coming to
is-
different jurisdictions.
Like,
Is it okay if I use thaumaturgy?
Yeah.
It says I can create instantaneous sound that originates from a point of my choice within the range,
Mhm.
like a rumble of thunder, cry of raven, or ominous whisper. So, like maybe thunder somewhere. Say, is it okay if it's here?
Sure. Now I ask you, are you casting a spell in front of everyone?
Oh fuck me!
Can
Are
I?
you trying,
Can I?
are you trying to hide it? Are you trying to hide it? If you're trying to hide it, you can roll me a stealth check. No, sleight of hand technically. Is there any is there any somatic components for this for thaumaturgy?
No, it's just verbal. Thaumaturgy is
Oh,
verbal.
just verbal. Yeah, I'll just say you can make me a stealth check then. Don't need a sleight of hand.
Stealth check.
Yeah.
Fuck. Okay, you know what? Give it a go. Fuck. Okay.
All right, with a 17, I wouldn't need to roll because they wouldn't have reached that. What sound do you make? Like a thunder rumbling sound outside?
Yeah, like like how do I put this? It's like yeah, why not? Like a sound of something like banging, like I don't know if you can hear that one.
I think you can
No.
sound of the barrels falling or banging
Okay,
outside.
yeah, sure. The sound of the that metal barrel that falls down the stairs that you
Sure,
put on
sure.
yeah.
Sure. Sure. You make the sound of a barrel fall on outside, and he just looks out the door and is like, "Wow, what is this now? You there? Just go check it out." And one guard kind of like runs out the door to check in the direction. As for the four guards behind, nobody's doing anything. They start barging their way towards Erwin and Danica, and you can see like one of them kind of forcibly pushes Erwin into Danica, who immediately falls onto the ground. Ah!
Where did I go?
Yeah, where did you go?
Did I delete myself?
Summer is
You
You might
on
have.
your summer?
You might have. Yeah.
Whoa,
So
whoa, whoa, whoa.
Oh my god, you're huge.
She said,
Sorry.
I think
what
this
she
is
said.
Atlas and intervenes.
all right. So they're about to barge into the Mardikov's office. Are you doing something?
Yeah, I'm like, okay, whoa, slow down.
Yeah.
First of all, you need a warrant to do any of what you're doing there. This is not the way police operate.
do warrants even exist in this?
What's a
I
warrant?
don't. I
No
don't.
idea.
Yeah, you don't know. In
Can't
your town,
push
it
your
does.
way through people's houses, establishments.
The guy that's standing in front of you just goes, "By the order of Baron Vargas, we will be searching for the criminal Octavio. No
It
matter
could be a
what
werewolf back there. You don't even know what you're running into.
werewolf." Make me a deception check.
I'm gonna do intimidate instead.
Intimidate. Yeah, she'll make me an intimidation check.
Wah, wah, wah.
Wah, wah, wah. He just looks at you and the guards as well. Just goes, then just start laughing. Werewolves? That Peter fucking killed a whole bunch of werewolves and wolves a couple days ago for the wolf jamboree. We're not fucking cares for the werewolves. Get out the fucking way. And they immediately barge right past.
Make me get out of the fucking way.
Oh, you're gonna hold? So let's go contested athletics checks, please.
do this.
These guys will have advantage since there are technically four of them, so I'll just give them advantage on this.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Yeah, four men barreling into you is no joke. They immediately subdue you as they kind of push you to the side. They shove Erwin and Danica away and immediately start barging through. One of the guards even just kind of like pushes you back, just goes, "Look, you get in our way again and we'll arrest you in the name of the law, right?" It is about this time. I'm going to roll first and see how Octavio's doing. Okay, he's doing well. It is about this time you all hear uh, as the guards point out towards the background, goes, he's running, and you guys can kind of see Rick Tavio on his horse. Yeah.
Oh,
Immediately just booking it right out of town, right out the door of the barn, immediately down the road. The guys just call out, oh, Isaac, he's on the run. And Isaac just looks fucking furious right now as he looks at the lot of you, just goes, points, literally just points at Soul, points at you, Darren, especially you, Darren, just goes, you were trying to delay me. I will remember your faces. And he immediately
What?
spits on the ground before he starts running right with the guards as all of them start running after Rickerio. Get back here! Get back here in the name of Baron Fargas! All of them start chasing after Rickerio.
I want to put my leg out in front of one of them.
Oh, no, please.
You see them kind of one of the slowest one behind kind of trips over. He's like, oh! And Isaac just turns around and just, get up! Fucking get up! Get out there! And they immediately start running right after Rictavio. Obviously much slower than a man on a horse. But yeah, despite all of that, all of the commotion eventually ends after about a few minutes or so. Erwin and Danica kind of dust themselves off and just look at you guys and just goes, we're so sorry that happened. Uh, the, the Baron's men can be pretty brash, especially if there's X around.
Uh,
are you?
I mean, I'm
What
surprised
is
if
up
it's,
with Isaac?
I'm surprised if it's not the best.
They both look at each other and just goes, well, you've already helped us so much, I guess. There's nothing wrong telling you a little bit about this, I guess, the people in this town. Isaac is not just any henchman, really. Well, the Baron adopted him when he was a child. That man used to be the victim of child abuse, quite literally.
Oh,
No, not Isaac, Vargas. And he just looks at you all. Yes, as bad as Baron Vargas might sound to you all, his father was much, much worse. He was a harsh ruler and took pleasure in running Vallaki pretty much like a dictatorship. Brought his harsh ways home with him every night and took out his frustrations on Vargas himself. Vargas's mother often took the brunt of husband's anger, and Vargas grew quite helpless watching all of that as he grew up. But he knew he was too weak to do anything, and well, his mother suffered a string of miscarriages due to the beatings, leaving Vargas as pretty much the only child and the heir to well, his blood. And well, because of abuse, Vargas grew up in a constant state of fear. He's always extraordinarily careful, and but in the past few years, things have taken a little bit of a turn. Uh, well, it's because of you know who, um, things that have been happening around Barovia, and all sorts of rumors. Apparently, Vargas' father was trying to rid Vallaki of, well, the devil himself, but well, things didn't go as planned, and the devil obviously punished Vargas' father for his actions. Vargas grew up under the impression that his father's cruelty was not his own, really, but pretty much the fault of the devil himself. He sought it as a way to blame the pain that he had received. And all of this is where Isaac came in. When Vargas finally came into control, well, when he first started, he didn't really have much power. Townsfolk and the nobles didn't really think much of him. And it wasn't until Isaac came into his employment that things began to change. He was a young man when Vargas found him. apparently he was, well, lost wandering along the shores nearby Vallaki, along the lake there. Vargas took pity in him, took him in, and for whatever reason, brought him up. Maybe saw some liking in him. Well, Isaac grew up a little bit weird, I would say, in that household. He's never been much for conversation, he's kept to himself. And he seems almost, well, devout to the Baron. I would think so, seeing that he saved his life. He practically had no family, no one but himself. He was a wandering soul, and Vargas took him in like his own son. Well, ever since then, Isaac has been the head of security and the guards in town. He's grown quite intimidating, and that young boy is no longer a boy, but a very, very powerful man. He just looks at you all. You're very brave, um, Miss Arthurs, for standing in his way, but he's known to be quite handsy, and well, as you can see, even his guards are not afraid to toss us around once in a while. I would not get on his bad side, as Isaac's been known to, well, go a little bit crazy when things get out of hand. You see that hand of his? Well, Isaac didn't used to have that hand when he first came into, when he first came, well, when Vargas first took him in. It just happened one day, like, like a curse or something. He was just out in the streets, and suddenly his hands started to warp, turn into this claw, this reddish, fiendish thing. And well, ever since then, everyone's avoided him, even us. But it seems it's only done good for Vargas and for Isaac, as well, just the sight of the hand draws fear from the townsfolk itself. Nobody stands in their way, and anybody that, well, belittles the Baron, or even just, well, anything that the Baron doesn't like, he just sends Isaac and his men to take care of them.
Oh,
Interesting.
Mm.
what? So, where does Isaac live? Does he live with the Baron?
He's
Huh?
part of the men that pretty much live with the Baron.
Hmm. Let me think.
Look, and he just leans in. We know we're telling you all this because we trust you, but no, don't say our names about just been telling you this. No one outside really um, wants to be against the Baron. There are some people who are quite actually loyal to his ways. Um, and believe me, even though things may seem pretty bad right now, back then when his father was in power, public torture was apparently commonplace for any criminal activity. Beatings and whippings were a common sight, a daily sighting. Public execution happened more often than not. The town of Vallaki is basically just trying to repopulate, just recover its population after all that. So try not to do anything too ill-advised. And he leads in closely. You've saved the Martikov family in a way, and you aided us in our troubles. So know that we will try to aid you. And my brothers themselves have mentioned that what you've done to save the family 1 year, I don't know how to put it into words. Look, we work against the evil that is here in this place, and obviously the one that is responsible for all of this. We won't outwardly show this, but know that we work in the shadows to make sure that everyone here gets to survive some way or another. So if you need any assistance, He just winks at you. Know that the ravens are behind you.
Ravens.
Well, you have
That's
our discretion.
interesting.
You have our discretion.
And he just nods his head. Well, I hope you understand. I've got a family and a business to run, so I like to keep things on the down low.
What can you tell me about Isaac?
I do not think that we can stay low anymore. Can we?
He just
Well,
shrugs.
that guy with the arm just pointed us out. So yeah, I don't think it's safe to stay here for too long.
Also, thank you for the reminder. So I've been writing down notes.
As you
Remind
ask
others not
about
to be too brash.
as you ask about Krezek, Erwin will just go, it's a town to the west. Other than that, we've never been. Don't really hear much from Krezek, really. Most of the towns and the people, townsfolk keep to themselves.
Understood.
Well, anyway, you guys enjoy your evening. I've got to go clear up the kitchen and the mess, and he starts heading out the back. Danica as well. You definitely now at this point in time have definitely drawn some sort of attention. Luckily for you, Irina and Ismark kind of picked out your hood and just goes, they didn't see us, I think.
No, I think they were focused on new targets instead of you.
Perhaps maybe it's you guys who needs to leave town and look for a safer place in Paris. And she just kind of chuckles.
Yeah, that's most probably what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stay here for a while and then disappear again.
Ismark just folds his arm and just. But you guys are lucky. At least you didn't get dragged by a horse. Well, they seem pretty busy with that Octavio fella anyway. So I guess until they bother with that, they probably won't be bothering you too much, I hope.
What did Octavio say? A tavern by the west?
A tower to the west.
Tower to the west. Hey, isn't that where the saint, the abbey thing sounded like a tower?
An abbey's an abbey, a tower's a tower. You seen a tower before? Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so just to confirm, the old tower is not in Vallaki, right?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, it's definitely he's not able to stay in Vallaki anymore, you think. But anyway, yeah, what are you guys doing, if anything?
I think we got some shopping errands to do for summer.
Mm-hmm.
I pick up all the stuff we have to pick up, and then before we leave, can we stop at the church?
I too want to.
Yeah. The I don't know. The pastor there owes us a sermon.
Lols. Well, it's dinner time yet, and apparently you're not sure whether there's a sermon for this evening. You guys missed the previous one. Sure, you guys can go and check that out. But I will say this: as you guys are heading out towards to collect, so I'll let you guys collect your stuff and stuff like that. We don't have to role play and all that problem. Shopkeeping stuff. Yeah, so just whatever you ordered. Anything special? Anything that was
A silvered rapier and a doll of Isaac.
Yep. So all the stuff for that you guys got from the market or from Blink skis and stuff like that. Yeah, sure. You can definitely, if you already made payment or you made half the payment, you can make the full payment and stuff like that.
I think we've made
the full payment. Yeah. All right. So you can collect your stuff, no problem. Add those items to your inventory. I will.
What was the stuff that we ordered?
Silver weapons.
I silvered my rapier, and I also bought a doll in the shape of Isaac.
Who's talking about?
What?
Who's talking about silver bolts, I think.
Bolts as well.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Let me check.
I think it's in the shopping channel.
Silver bolts.
Yeah.
Yep. Sure.
Total thing we bought.
Sure. She can. Yeah. I can let her know lah. But she can add that into inventory. But I will say this. In fact, let's do this out. Okay. So, as you guys are exploring the town square itself.
And then in the end, I think we should also maybe look into how the mayor is treating the town, because this is kind of like a police state, and that's not really cool to leave it like that.
The Baron, isn't it considered?
Yeah, the Baron. Yeah.
All right.
The Baron in this case only has control over this town in particular, right? Or is it like a bit more extra land?
I mean, whether he's like the CIA.
No. In terms of like holdings, so is it like considered like the mayor of just the town, or when you say Baron, is it like multiple towns and such?
No, Baron is one town. Baron means barony. So this region, this entire region, technically.
Considered because the region can hold multiple towns, so I'm sure.
Yep. But you've only met one baron so far. The other one's dead. Technically, that title of the barony of Barovia would then tend over to Irina. But well, there is a lord of the land as well, so we'll see. Anyway, regardless, as you guys are walking around town square collecting your equipment, who has the highest passive perception here? So,
Yes.
so you notice a man that has been following you guys ever since you guys have left the Blue Water Inn, and he's been keeping like a good like 50 to 60 feet away from you guys, kind of like walking close by, stopping when you stop near the blacksmith to get your weapon, stopping basically just kind of keeping an eye out nearby. You will notice this soul.
Everyone, it seems we have company. Someone has been keeping a very close eye on our movement.
Hmm.
Do we want to speak to him?
Do you want to like all of us turn around a corner? Then when he follows us, we are right around the corner waiting for him waiting for him.
So, something like that.
So, do we want to do this?
Okay.
Let's move to a more discreet location, not in the middle of town.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Where would you like to go?
I think just slightly out of the town center. I think right now it's
I think we want to go towards the church since we have been there anyway.
On the way to the church, we'll pick up an alleyway or whatnot just to shuffle in.
All right. So without having to move you guys to another map, you guys head out of the town square as far as you can out of the outskirts and immediately go around the corner. And as you kind of pick up your pace, the man obviously picks up his pace too and quickly hops it around the corner. And just as like he runs around the corner to keep up with you guys, you all are standing there and he just looks, this isn't this isn't the
My friend,
looks at you all.
You've been following me. Let's
You want to schedule an appointment to see us?
He kind of like coughs. Actually, yes. He kind of curtly bows towards you and just goes, "The name is Ernst Lanak. I am a servant of Lady Fiona Watcher, very esteemed noble of this town here of Vallaki. Actually, Miss Lady Fiona would like to," and he just kind of shuffles around in his coat and just pulls out like this water paper, holds it out to you, and yeah, just holds it out to you, I guess, to Darian. Just goes, "Miss Lady Fiona would like to invite you all for dinner to her residence this evening, if you are available. She's heard very good things about you. And perhaps you may be a powerful ally in the things to come." And he immediately just kind of passes the paper over to you. He kind of looks around. Your attendance is expected this evening at 8 bells. Do be clean and do be prompt. And he just immediately
Hold on.
away.
Which direction? Where's the house?
He just points at a piece of paper in your hand and just goes, the address is there.
Well, okay. I open the note and look at it.
Why are you running off?
He immediately starts walking right off down the town square and disappears.
Oh, fuck this guy.
As you look
It's
at the
like
note,
secret agent nonsense here.
as you look at the note, it says the Water House.
Ooh.
Is it German for Waterhouse?
Technically, yes.
Okay. So I turn to the rest of my party, then I show them the invitation. So, do we want to accept?
But why not? You know, that's the way it is.
What do you think, Arthurus?
Well, free dinner.
Yeah.
And what is she? What's to come? Like, that
Well-
sounds ominous, right? And
Yes, there is something I'm a bit concerned about. Is how did she know that we did good things did good things? Because we just came to the only good thing we did for Lucky is restoring alcohol to the place, and I think that's it. How did she hear about it so fast?
Anyone with their own...
So
That is
important.
it's fairly easy to spy on people if given enough time and resources.
Guys, that's not the only thing we did in Vallaki.
Alcohol is pretty important, I think.
I know.
and,
but
and
it
let's
was
be
so
honest.
fast.
Anybody who sees me knows that there's something good is happening.
Yes, obviously.
Wow.
What? Okay.
Yeah.
I can't decide whether Pounds or Arthurs is an ego issue. Each one needs to go to counseling first.
So, do we want to go tonight, or do you want to...
Let us go now.
I
Uh,
would agree. It would be best to understand the nature of this contact, whether it be hostile or not, as soon as possible.
At the very least, I do think she wants. I think she wants to. I don't know,
Yeah,
hire us
time.
or something.
I say the time will be 6 p.m. So technically, you have a couple of hours before dinner.
Do we go
Well,
separately?
Yeah, we can go to the
I
church
would
first.
still
Let's
like
go
to see the
together.
church. I would still like to see the church first.
Maybe tomorrow morning.
Let's just go
When
now.
Let's do it. Let's do it tonight. I agree.
I mean, there's no reason to wait. I mean, let's just be frank. Ever since we stepped into this place, we either died or not died. So I don't think danger's a problem. It's either we're gonna die or we're not gonna die. That's
That's what all
I
things like
also
crossing the
agree,
street.
though. It seems illogical that seemingly as soon as we step into the town, everyone wants to hire us or kill us. It seems illogical.
to be specific. We keep heading in the direction of things that want to kill us.
Also, we're all heavily armed and armored. Well,
But,
we look like it, and
but
the average
would
citizen is.
that not engender at least some sort of misgivings as to trying to take us on? Surely, if they've heard exploits of us murdering or killing a bunch of creatures and folk,
But who in town
that
has
would
tried to take us
deter.
on? Nobody's tried to take us on.
Yeah.
Maybe we should try to take them
Maybe.
on.
Maybe
Yeah,
she's...
like I was the one that's going to start
Yeah.
the fight in the
Hmm.
bar.
Yeah, and I had to fake puke in order to get you out of that.
That is true. We do have a tendency to piss people off. That is
Maybe she finds
that
us
is-
charming, you know.
Maybe she
based
also
on
wants to
based on
deal
what
with
you have just
Voldemort
convinced me
too.
of. I do not think so.
Maybe she's like, you know,
I shall
going at her.
prepare some spells in case we have to burn down the mansion, because it seems
Wow.
like
Oh, someone invites you to dinner, and the first thing you plan is how to burn down their house.
no, but it makes sense, because if we seemingly piss off everyone, it is likely that she will attack us anyway, and we will have to kill her, or we will kill her in the process, and we will end up burning down the whole mansion.
I think so.
It seems like that would happen if we keep pissing people off.
I think
I-
yours just. I think Straw
My
has
dear
turned
friend,
Aldrin
I don't
into
know.
a pessimist.
I don't know where you came from, but we don't immediately kill
Apparently
people
the same
before we
town.
meet.
No, I'm not saying that we kill her. I'm saying that we seem to piss everyone off, and they will in turn attack us, which means we will defend ourselves. And in the process of defending ourselves, we will end up killing them.
You mean cause collateral damage?
Also, Summer,
Oh,
I think you all came from
That is
Dagobah.
what I'm
Like
trying to
every single
say.
one of you.
We seem to keep pissing people off. It makes no sense in that sense. But if I am to apply logic to this case, we will have to do something to hide the evidence.
Maybe they're just racist.
I mean, isn't that why
I do not
they don't know our
understand our
reputation?
preternatural ability to piss people off, but it is what it is, and I must plan around that.
Maybe that
Guys,
isn't
why
that
don't we go talk to Erwin and his wife? What was her name again? Danica. And ask them.
Lady Fiona, yes?
Yeah, because they at least trust us, and they're not gonna that we know of lie to our face about who this person is, right?
Yeah, we got time. That's a great idea. Thank you.
And then we can look
that
at
will
the
hopefully lessen
church
the
and then go.
chances of pissing her off. Yes, I agree.
Sure, let's go.
We
All
can go
right,
to the
back
church.
to the Blue Water Inn.
Just to
Oh, you guys are back so quick.
That's what we do. We're fast that way.
I
All
don't know.
right.
Apparently, news travels fast because somebody just heard of our great deeds. I put great deeds in inverted commas, and she gave us this invitation. Do you know of this noble? I show him the the invitation. Probably there's an emblem there or something.
She doesn't need to see any emblem. She sees the words to walk to the house, and her eyes widen as well. And she goes, "You got yourselves an invitation by Lady Fiona Worcester. You're pretty lucky you are."
What?
Really? Tell us more.
Uh, oh, you've never heard of the lady? Erwin just kind of goes, "Ladies gossip, I'll leave you to it." He hits the kitchen. He immediately takes a drink, sits down. It's a long story, and I think we have lots of time for it. All right, it's my break for now. Erwin, you're taking care of the kitchen. Where do we start, really? Well, Lady Fiona. Well, a lot's been said about her, but not about everything. Really, it's about the truth. Where do we start? Give me a second here. Let me see what she is able to tell you through
She
gossip.
consults her GM notes.
Okay. So this is technically gossip you're hearing from a housewife, yeah? Okay, so uh, what can they? Hold on, let me just see what else. Okay. She goes, well, Lady Fiona Watcher is a pretty prominent noble within the city. If you could say that there was someone that was, not to say second in hand, but the second most powerful person would be Lady Fiona Watcher in the city. She's often quoted as saying, "I'd rather serve the devil than the madman Vargas." Um, So yeah, it's well known in
By
throughout
the
town.
devil, she means the devil or the he who shall not be named.
She leans in closely. I think she really does mean the devil, but perhaps you all should speak to her about that. Um, she goes, well, Lady Fiona Watcher owns an old house in town known as the Wachter House, but she rarely leaves her estate. Her two adult sons, in fact, Nikolai and Carl, a couple of local clientels, they're always here every evening drinking their eyes out until they pass out in the morning. Um, well, I've heard that Lady Wachter also has this daughter of hers who apparently turned mad or something. And she keeps her locked away in some sort of dungeon or basement. Who knows? Also, I wouldn't say this out loud to anyone else that is loyal to the Burgomaster. But Vargas will never confront Fiona or her offspring because, to be very frank, he's afraid of her. See, Lady Fiona apparently has old family ties to the devil himself.
Ties as in blood ties?
Not too sure exactly of the details, but the rumor has it she's met the devil himself and lived to talk about it, in fact.
Well,
Darren,
that's interesting.
Darren glances at the summer's horns.
But then again, these are all rumors, midwives, and they're pure gossip. But one thing is for sure, Lady Fiona Watcher is looking out for this town as well. There are many people that believe in, in her ways. Uh, she kind of has quite a lot of followers. Other noblemen, really, and those who kind of like believe in the old ways.
Hmm. Hmm. Interesting.
But anyway, since you're getting an invitation to the dinner, you should really enjoy yourselves. I heard the Waterhouse is practically lavish mansion, and she stays there all by herself. Nobody ever sees her husband anymore. In fact, apparently he went off somewhere and never returned. Um, well, Nikolai and Carl are always around, and in fact, if you wait a little bit around closer to the evening, you see them pop in here for a few drinks.
Interesting.
But
Guys,
I would not, how would you say, I would not reject an invitation by one such as Lady Fiona Watcher. Um, it's known that nobles can be a little bit haughty and a little bit, uh, they keep
Vindictive?
a little bit vindictive, we can say. Uh, well, it's not nice anyway to reject an offer by a lady. So you guys should enjoy your dinner. Let us know how it's like. Is it really true that she has an Arctic bear rug in front of a fireplace? Just let us know, all right? And she winks at you.
Darren rings right back. Okay, we'll give you the scoop later.
Is there anything we should look out for besides, the Arctic bear?
She just shrugs. I don't know. I mean, to be very honest, I don't think Lady Fiona Watcher is as dangerous as, Baron Vargas and his men. So perhaps she might, if she's speaking to you, maybe she's interested.
Looks can be
Maybe,
deceiving.
well, uh, I'm not so sure really. Uh, I guess there's only one way to find out.
Okay. So, are we gonna go now?
So heading to St. Andrew's Church first or towards Walk the House?
Well, it's
Come on,
6 o'clock, right? Or it's 5:30.
Six-ish.
Six. We have 2 hours. You think we can do the church in 2 hours, guys?
Yeah, I think we can. We're not. If it takes too long, we could just leave the sermon.
there's no sermon now.
The
Yeah.
flash fire thing, this only takes like 30 seconds.
Yeah, you guys are going over there to just like kind of just
Chat.
check up on what's going on.
Yeah, we just want to drop by the church.
Okay. If we're dropping by.
Okay, sure. So all of you guys head off away from Blue Water Inn, start heading west towards St. Andrew's Church. And you guys weren't able to enter the church before this, but today the doors are open. And as you guys all step on in, it bears very much the kind of aesthetics as well as the architecture of the church that was in Barovia, pretty much like this abbey with pews and uh, basically kind of chantry in front. Uh, but yeah, as you guys approach, you see old Father Lucian Petrov, who is currently right now kind of like just preparing some holy water on the stand. Just look at you all and just goes, "Ah, children of Vallaki,
Please enter. The sermons will be starting a little bit after dinner. Oh, and just looks at you all. It's you lot. Uh, uh, what are you doing here?
Just
You invited us to come return the visit.
And he goes, I did? Uh, oh, yes, I did. Oh, you, and he just puts a finger out. You missed the very beautiful sermon I put on that evening. Uh, you have not attended for the past 3 nights, so I thought perhaps you had left this town. You have returned.
Well, we were on a quest to restore wines to the rest of Barovia.
Oh, I see. Alcohol is very bad for the soul, but I guess that's a good thing. I think.
Bad
But
for the
it's good for
soul,
the
Lord.
good for the
spirit.
spirit. Good for the spirit, yes.
Jinx, jinx, jinx.
Well, it's good for the spirit, bad for the soul, right? uh, he will just kind of like, well, anyway, we religious men don't drink. What are you all doing here? How can I be of assistance?
just to check in on the church.
Oh,
Is
everything's
the bone still there?
of course. And he just kind of pats what seems to be the main altar behind him. The bones of St. Andrew have been sealed back in the crypt beneath where they are supposed to be. And if it wasn't for you, the sermon wouldn't have gone off as pleasantly as it did that night. I was in a mood, I tell you. Uh, it was a ravishing sermon. Everyone gave their welcomes to the morning Lord, gave their worships, and I felt it. I felt it, I tell you.
I think Sol will like start to ask Father Lucian about Kresek and the Abbey of Saint Macovia.
All right, let me just see what he might know about it.
And then after, Father, I'd like you to bless a couple of items for me, please.
Bless a couple of items. He goes, of course, I will bless anything you need. Any instruments of the Lord are instruments that I can bless.
So,
The village of Krezak. Let's see. Does he know anything about Krezak? Blocking. What does he know about the Abbey of Saint Markovia as well? Okay, just give me a moment. I'm just going through a bunch of notes here.
Is it okay if I just walk a little? I just
So you can enter here just fine.
And you can do whatever you want. It's completely
yeah,
fine.
you know, as long as I wear my hood and nobody sees my horns, it's fine.
It doesn't matter. I'm a walking, talking turtle.
Aww.
Oh yes, everyone gives you guys the eyes the moment you guys pass by. But enough adventurers have passed through their town to know that you guys are obviously not citizens and obviously strangers.
You know what they say about turtles?
Strangers in the night.
Yeah, that.
Krizek. Okay.
shell?
Start this happening. Okay. He doesn't actually know much about it. But yeah, he will just go, the Abbey of St. Macovia in Kresek, you mean? Kresek I haven't been to. I heard it's a lovely town, but the people keep to themselves. As for the Abbey of St. Macovia, it used to be a convent and hospital. Um, Apparently, it's been turned into, what would you call it? Uh, an arc? Pretty much a madhouse right now. It's overrun with patients that have sicknesses. I've heard all sorts of things there, but nothing that I can really count on. Other than that, the abbot
what's his name? Is there a name for the abbot? Give me a second here. Um, the abbot of Saint Macovia, the head of the abbey. Well, apparently he's been there for over a century and hasn't aged a day since.
Oh,
He has the one ring, guys.
Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do.
Well, I'm not one to post rumors and talk about things that may or may not be true. Uh, but well, the abbey it fell on some hard times after the land was swallowed up by the mist, and so were we. It is said some of the clergy fell prey to dear Lord, the devil himself. Others went mad, either starved themselves to death or even turned to cannibalism. If it wasn't for the abbot, the head of the Kazakh Abbey of Makofia, if he hadn't arrived over a century ago, he would, well, the land, Kazakh itself would have been very much different. He came and saved and healed the people and, well, turned Kazakh into what it is.
What is it?
A sanctuary, they say. But to be very honest, I myself have never been to the Abbey of St. Macovia. Um, a lot of people who have ailments of the mind do seek out aid and head towards the Abbey. So perhaps if you have anyone who is a little bit muddled in the head, they can seek some sort of ailment there.
Hmm.
understood. Thank you for the information.
Okay.
You are more than welcome.
Have you heard anything of a fortified tunnel in Vallaki?
Fortified tunnel, and just kind of scratches his head. None of that sort.
Okay, as I asked this, I will look at the two pins,
Mhm.
see if they recognize the term.
No, they do not.
All right, that's all.
Oh, wow. Oh, that's the sound of the background thing. I thought that was my nephew. Sorry.
So anyway, the church seems empty for the evening, and yeah, they seem to be setting up for the sermons for that night. But if there's anything else you like to discuss, if not, what do you guys want to do?
I want to ask if the other has a holy symbol, because like I'd feel safer walking around with
You're a worshiper of the morning Lord as well. Then very well, of course. He reaches behind the altar and just kind of pulls out a small iron symbol, without the necklace or anything. It's just basically the morning Lord symbol, which is the sun spoke.
Okay.
And he just kind of hands it to you. There you go.
Oh, thanks.
Plus one for you, and he gives you another one for free. Just give that to your friends if you need them. I've got plenty of extras.
Oh, anyone else want one? Good luck, charm.
A free symbol of the morning lord?
Yep.
Okay, why not?
Sure, I'll take one.
Oh,
Sure.
I'll take one.
Well, everyone takes one then.
All right. He hands it to you all. And is one of you wanted me to bless some items? Or what were the items?
Yes, I wanted you to best my shield and my sword.
Of course. Please stand here. Milvor, bring over the holy water, please. And you see one of the boys just kind of head over to the side, grab a jug of the holy water, head over to the priest. All right, please stand here. And you see him start to more chant something in the language you don't understand. And he starts grabbing a little bit of water in his fingertips, and he just starts throwing it onto the items as he ceremonially blesses your items for you. As to mechanically whether anything anything affects them, you're not exactly too sure. It's pretty much like being blessed by.
Yeah, I don't care about that. It's just
Yeah, sure.
something that a holy warrior would do.
Yes,
Oh.
definitely. So Father Lucian definitely takes his time to bless your weapons, your shield, and even your armor and your attire, and just goes, crosses over your head and just goes, "May the morning Lord grant you all the power you need to withstand against the devil and his inane darkness." And with that, he kind of stands back up. "All right, then. That is all I can do for you. Oh, that will be 5 gold pieces, please."
Sure.
"Oh, it is charity, obviously, for the church."
Of course.
Yeah, I
He,
also
yeah, Milijov
very
just kind
much.
of puts his hand over as you kind of hand over the 5 gold pieces minus that, and puts it into the donation box and just goes, "All right, then. Thank you, devout worshippers of the morning Lord. The sermons will start in about another hour and a half. Please do stick around, make your own prayers if you need. I will be returning shortly." And you see him start like heading off towards his room in the back, up the tower, up towards the abbey. Yeah, if there's nothing else, what do you guys want to do?
I tell Milivaj that we have another engagement.
He
So
just shakes his head, looks at you, and just goes, "Okay."
I'll come back again later. Sure. Sometime. One day.
Oh, and he just seems to be silent, almost unthinking, uncaring about what you've mentioned to him.
Okay, cool. So, do you guys want to go back to the Watcher House thing now? Do we have time? What
I
time is
think
it?
we have time to do that now.
Yeah, let's go.
All right. You guys start heading over towards the Water House, which is in the middle of town itself, up north. Um, Kind of just getting directions from people that you pass by on the street. They immediately point to you towards a very, very beautiful kind of looking. Let's see here. Oh no, no, actually, not exactly a very beautiful looking mansion. In fact, as you guys head on over, this is what you see.
Carpet mention.
Do don't mind the black squares for now. But yeah, as you guys approach, you notice uh, this mansion, if you can call it a mansion. It's more like a dilapidated house. It seems almost disgusted of itself. A slouching roof hangs heavy over furrowed gables, and moss-covered walls sag and bulge under the weight of the vegetation. As you study the house's sullen countenance, you definitely hear the edifice actually groan under its weight of its ancient roof tiles. Only then do you kind of realize the extent to which this house kind of has hated to what it has become. It seems almost in a state of disrepair. As you guys approach the gate itself, there is a servant outside kind of tending towards a singular pumpkin on the farm itself. Uh, and you realize that she's just setting up what wasn't plants but a scarecrow. There doesn't seem to be anything almost like growing within the fields nearby, but she's tending to it regardless. As you guys approach, what do you like to do?
Hello?
You see the servant stand up and look up towards you. Just goes, "Yes, can I help you?"
We have an invitation to dinner by Lady Fiona.
Uh, Wait there. And she kind of like runs off towards the door. She disappears past the main door for about a moment when she steps back out. Uh, Please come on in. The gate is open.
Open Sesame.
All right.
I guess we
So
head in.
yeah, as you guys step on in, she kind of ushers you all closer towards her, and she goes, "Just please follow me. Dinner is not yet ready. You guys, you all had you are early a little. Lady Fiona is in the midst of getting ready at the moment, but please sit in the parlor, and we'll be serving you some refreshments before dinner. And
Wonderful.
she heads on in. You guys follow right behind her into this. Outside, it looks pretty. It looks pretty run down. Inside, however, it's pretty lavish. There is a stairwell that heads up into the second floor. Very nice, kind of like long dining table. The servant kind of like brings you all towards this parlor right over here, actually. Sorry. Yeah. And right next to the dinner table, she just goes, please have a seat. We will serve a little bit of tea and some biscuits as well. So please wait here for Miss Fiona, and dinner will be called upon to you shortly. She heads off as you guys all take a seat inside this place.
Where did she head off?
She ran off towards the kitchens, and definitely see like a couple of servants kind of move around the house. One of them kind of like heads over, actually two of them starts heading over to the tables and starts piling dishes, putting out cutlery and stuff like that. You definitely kind of look through the back, and you definitely see a back kitchen of some sort. I can reveal this part of the kitchen at least.
Okay.
And inside there are also a couple of servants kind of like either handling the stove, chopping, doing kitchen work, moving boxes and stuff like that. There is at least, from what you can see, maybe about 4 or 5 servants inside here. You're not exactly sure. But eventually, about 5 minutes later, you see a familiar face come out of the kitchen, kind of ushers a few words to the servants, and they nod as they kind of like move out of the parlor and leave you to your privacy. You see Ernest Lang walk in with a tray of cups and a large pot of tea, as well as some biscuits, and kind of place it on the counter in front of you, and just goes, I see that you all have taken it upon Lady Fiona's invitation, but this, he just kind of wipes his forehead. That is good. I was worried that perhaps I was a little bit too forward, but please enjoy the refreshments. Lady Fiona is in the midst of taking care of some things at the moment, and she will join you for dinner before we begin. Please. And he starts getting off and up the stairs towards the second floor before disappears around the corner. So you guys all sit here and decide what to do. Maybe discuss what you like to talk about with Lady Fiona. Maybe any strategies amongst yourselves. You guys can definitely go ahead and do that. We'll take a 5-minute break, and we'll be right back for dinner with Lady Fiona Watcher, the lady of the house.
Hmm.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay, so Darian pours a cup of tea and offers it like the way something like offer a cup of tea to the emperor. That's it. The jinx is broken.
How many times do you say tea again just now?
Enough times to be sick of it.
Okay, good. So, do we want to ask the lady about, say, if she actually supports, like, the devil of this land?
And maybe don't
You
put her
mean
in such a
you mean
position.
you know who?
Yeah,
Let's get to know her first before we actually ask questions like that. Because, like, I forget who was saying it. We tend to get ourselves into trouble first. Let's feel her out first.
Yeah, let's do that, please. Like I said, I would rather that we not initiate a fight that will end up burning this place down.
I look at Darian.
It's fine. Nobles don't have that much hit points.
Darian is taking a huge swig of tea.
Fuck you, Haris.
Okay, I'm gonna be right back. Just a second.
Oh, we
Why?
accidentally killed a noble by accident the
Wait,
other game. We
Why? What
had
was it?
4 hit points, apparently.
It's still a
Oh,
I mean, it's still a villager, normal person.
I wonder what happens if we accidentally kill Lady Fiona. That would be
Uh,
horrible.
our children would immediately go, "Damn it! I knew this would happen."
we have to
I
run
knew
out of
those
town.
things.
Or
Oh, we could go like, oh yes, we're the master of this house.
Yeah, I don't think that's how
I
it works.
think we'll end up burning the house down at the same time. Well, actually, I would because I end up starting helping out in the fight that's going to happen.
Starting out the fire.
Alright, we're not gonna kill the lady of the house, okay?
Please, let's not. Let's not. I also agree. Let's
Yeah.
not kill. Let's not kill the lady.
Yeah. At all. Um,
I suppose you should probably just ask about what she wants from us first
Mhm.
before we start broaching any other questions afterwards.
Yes,
Well,
it took us this long to realize that that's the main question.
since she's clearly the second person, most powerful person in this area, do you think she just wants us to like overthrow the Baron?
If that's what she wants and she can offer a good enough reward, go ahead.
Maybe. What
I
if she's evil?
Then we go back to the original idea: kill everyone, burn everything. Right?
and you guys were like, wow, why are you thinking go and kill everyone, burn everything? It's like I'm the one being sane somehow.
I mean,
Um,
Felton is really the only one being sane. We just came from a White House where we couldn't burn, so I think all of us are a little bit twitchy. We also came from a
Yes,
place
but
where, well,
at least I don't let it affect me. I'm not like, oh my god, this makes absolutely what my sense, my logic has completely failed me. No, logic still works. It still works. I refuse to believe in logical things.
let me think. Okay, say she wants us to overthrow the Baron or Baroness of the place with a good price. Would we actually do it, or do we investigate her further?
I would say we would have to investigate further uh, in the process of trying to accomplish that because certainly don't necessarily trust her to, keep her end of the bargain after all is said and done.
She does have her own spy, and like I would trust someone with a Pinkerton more than someone with a spy. I don't know, man.
Sorry, Pinkerton?
The thug, because at least they're more direct. How much
Direct,
secrets?
direct does not necessarily mean what like doesn't is not necessarily good all the time. Sometimes.
Like, if you have a spy, how much secrets do you think she has?
You know, when you said Pinkerton, I kept on thinking about the Knights of Capitalism, Alan Pinkerton.
Yeah, no. The people that goes bash, bash, bash.
private security.
Or the American Pinkerton? Is that the one
Yeah,
you're referring to?
yeah, that one in Extra History, the one that ended up fighting the miners who was trying to unionize or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, and who also went and raided the
They recently made the news.
Yeah,
raided
they
the
did.
streamer for Magic the Gathering.
Yeah. It's fuck you for getting the cards early.
Yeah, that's not that surprising, right? You guys have been around doing those kind of things.
Mm. Let me
So,
see.
So yeah, we find out what the lady wants, and then we find out what we want from the lady, and then
Do we even want to get involved in the politics of this town?
We might be wrapped
eh,
up in it.
I suspect we may not have a choice considering we pissed off the Baron's bodyguard, I believe. Yeah. So
I mean, we could just leave.
Mm,
I don't guarantee that leaving will. I don't think leaving will guarantee that they won't come after us. I don't guarantee that.
Irina needs a new
Wait,
house.
Sorry.
Irina needs a new house.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
that's
Get her the
That's
burgomaster's house.
The
I
only
think,
way
you know,
the only way we leave is we leave the whole plane entirely, and I don't think that's happening until we take on Strahd. I suspect.
do we all have to be here during dinner?
eh,
I think Ernest will. I think Ernest will notice if one of us is missing. He saw all of us.
Would be a shame if I could. I wish I had just slinked off and see what's what around the ground.
so you can.
Try.
I don't know if you can do that later. I mean,
If you really, or I mean, I
Is it
think
the-
the place is going to be hard to get in. If you really want to, you can always do or just sneak around after dinner.
this is what
Yeah.
this is what Foundry means. We look for trouble.
I would really, really like to look around the place. What if she has something in the basement?
Then we just kill.
Again, after
Are
dinner,
you?
when we leave
Are you
and all,
thinking about? Are you thinking about her mad daughter?
She has a mad daughter?
Yeah,
Did-
I mean, there's a
She
rumor
might have a mad daughter.
that is locked up in the basement or something like that.
Well, we can.
that's the rumor right now as it stands.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
it's just a
can
rumor.
high.
I don't think we should broach that question. Just to FYI.
Yeah, Darian, how dare you?
Oh, you're the one who wanted to look around the basement.
His name
I
is
didn't
Darian.
say anything about a mad daughter. I just want to look at the basement.
Yeah, I mean, we can what? And like I said, if you want to look around, I suggest that after dinner you want to sneak back in and have a peek, sure, but not during dinner. That probably is going to be a bit more conspicuous.
Maybe say
Let's
that you
just-
need to
let's just
pee or
be-
something.
Let's just be civil for this dinner. Just
Yes.
dinner.
Fine. Civil.
After that, you can be as do whatever you want. You want to go back to the
Yes.
Gorgeous Tree and fight it?
Yeah,
Go ahead.
once we get past dinner, we can be murder hobos if we want.
Why
no,
would we
so-
want to murder hobos? We're just, spies.
Murder nobles.
I don't know. It just seems like modus operandi. It's just like for this place in general.
I'm not the one with the fireball.
I deploy those. I deploy those only when we need to, not when we don't.
And you have more
Yeah,
I
time.
didn't ask how big the room was. I said fireball.
Oh, we can take it.
Because I was like, when Arthur's friend is decided, oh, okay, we must really get up in the person's face. I mean, yeah, to distract and all kind of thing, but there were better options. I was already thinking, oh no, I'm gonna have to burn down Kevin just to save our asses.
I knew what I was doing.
Yeah.
I was very unsure. I was like I said, there was the reminder. Make sure Artis doesn't go off the leash again.
I mean, Atlas was picking up a fight, and it was come to us, we just fight. And then have to run out of town.
Yeah, if we kill all the
Yeah.
guards, we don't have to run out of town.
Exactly.
Within the Baron was hey, these people just killed my bodyguard and a bunch of guards. Can I please not just send everyone else after them?
That's where
Yeah,
fireball
that's what I
comes
mean.
in.
Again,
While I would agree it's useful in Faerun, in Barovia, I doubt that will work that easily.
Against commoners?
No, against whatever this place has to offer. You try to
Commoners.
fireball against a bunch of commoners, suddenly all of them are zombies.
Fireball again.
Well, zombies, angry
And then we find,
mobs, everything.
and then we find out they're all half vampires. And then that's screwed.
Where
Well,
is
if they
Soul?
are
I
half
can't see him.
vampires, then we were screwed already from the beginning.
Yeah.
But yeah, Soul is missing.
I'm very cute.
In our hearts?
Not on our screen.
Odd.
Yep.
We're in the parlor because only rich people have parlors.
Well, later we get the whiskeys and cigars.
I mean, well, I mean, compared to the stuff that we've seen in Faerun, I suspect this is like a downgrade, but still nice comparatively.
You know, wait.
What?
This is This is a the fireplace, right?
I believe it is.
Yeah, and I rarely see like fireplace that that look two-sided. Like this is also clearly a fireplace over here, and this one's also a fireplace. Like I rarely see like two-sided.
Most probably share the same chimney, but I don't know if they're sitting or they're
You,
passed.
th- you think like if we talk here, the other side of the fireplace could hear us?
I don't think the walls are that thick anyway, so I don't think it matters.
Besides, if you want to have secret conversations, why don't you use your psychic powers?
Oh yeah, I'll use my psychic powers at you for sure, but you only have one thought left.
Lost his
I
foot,
think
not his thought.
you're the one with the
I'm gonna
one thought.
sit by the fire over here and wait.
Okay.
Sipping my tea.
Sipping your tea. Okay.
Still sipping your tea, guys?
Oh no, cikgu dah balik.
Yes, I'm back. So, with that, whatever game plan you guys have come up with, good luck. As we jump back into tonight's game of the Curse of Strahd, all of you, as you're sitting around, you hear footsteps come from the top of the stairs. A couple of them. As you hear Ernst come around the landing, stand in front of the doorway, and just goes, "Presenting her Lady Fiona Watcher, Lady of the House, Lord of this mansion." And he imagines himself over there as Lady Fiona presents herself to all of you all. And you see a pretty elderly woman, definitely close to her 60s or 70s, frail kind of body, like wrinkly skin, white hair. Despite her age, she holds herself with a regard and an honor of a noble, definitely. The clothes and the way she dresses herself, she's wearing this kind of a black, kind of like a buttoned up cottage on the top, with full on dress all the way down. She just stands, despite that, like looking very tall and almost like in charge of the space. As Lady Fiona finally addresses you all, goes, "Ah, heroes, finally you have here. Thank you for accepting my invitation. Please, would you perhaps join me for a little dinner?" And you can see the servants start coming right out in droves, putting out soups and meats and breads and cheeses on the table as they start to bring out the courses. Um, Lady Fiona just takes a seat right at the end of the table. He just goes, "Please, please, have a seat. Make yourselves at home. The walk to house is your house as well as my house."
You honor us, Lady Fiona.
She just kind of like fans herself and goes, "No, no, no, please. You heroes honor me by accepting my dinner. She just kind of nods towards Ernst, and he starts like heading out towards the kitchen, kind of giving orders for the servants to bring in courses. I assume all of you start taking your positions or places around the table, wherever you like to sit. But each of you, basically, like one servant comes around the corner, places a dish in front of you, pretty much like fine dining experience. All of them kind of like open up a napkin, kind of place it on your on your either fold it up to your shirt or onto your lap, and immediately these kind of stand right next to you, almost kind of like attending to you personally. And Lady Fiona just starts tasting the soup and just goes, ah, pea soup, just like my father, just like my mother made it. Always loved pea soup. Please enjoy it. It is quite ravishing. And she starts like basically souping it down very, very slowly. In midst of her drinking her soup, she's literally just taking a spoon, putting it to her lips while she's seated upright and looking at all of you.
Hey, is it okay if I use my what is this called again? Psychic whisper to Arthurus?
Mhm. Sure.
Hey,
Sure.
Arthurus. Remember the time when you detect the undead?
Yes. Do you want me to do that now?
Maybe whenever you feel is the best of time, but like,
It would have been good to ask that like 5 minutes ago when you.
well, I didn't thought of that. Maybe thing stuff. Distracted by tea.
Yeah, I know. Me too. When I do that, is it obvious that I'm doing that?
It's a telepathic.
No, his
I'm
ability.
asking. I'm asking GM.
Divine
Hmm.
sense.
I'll say divine sense doesn't say there's anything visibly like you doing it. So it's kind of like an innate thing, almost like your ability. So only you know about it, and only you can kind of receive these things. So yeah, so nobody else would.
All right, so I'll use like the Batman pray mode. Go.
Yeah. Again, it like edges out in this black and white photoscape, and then comes back into a dome of an aura back towards you. And surprisingly, it does not ping off anything.
Interesting.
Well, there is one fiend here, and she's talking to you right across the table.
Oh, she's fiend?
You.
Oh, right. Whoops.
I knew it.
Yeah, the only fiend here in this room is Summer, unfortunately.
What was your clue? Was it the horns? Anyway.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Anyway, so yeah, that goes
Out
off.
of curiosity, because it's supposed to detect undead too. Did it
Yep.
ping off of myself?
Yeah, are you technically undead? No, right? You are reborn. You don't hold the undead type technically, right?
I don't think so.
No. Yeah, you don't hold the undead type because technically, if somebody casts turn undead, you also would be affected, right? Then, so no.
Right,
I
yeah,
would say
okay.
no. Yeah, I would say no. So yeah, uh, Lady Fiona just very quietly sips her soup, and she almost seems to be finishing it faster than the rest of you. She just goes, "Is there something wrong with the soup? Is it not
No,
to your
what
taste?
type of soup is it again, sorry?
It's pea soup. It's my mother's recipe. I've taught it to the servants here."
Excellent.
So we just
Like pea
quietly
soup
take.
with ham in it and stuff like that. Very French Canadian.
She just kind of chuckles and puts her hands to her mouth and just goes, "No, it is a secret recipe. Unfortunately, you can't give it out to anybody at the table. I'm quite sorry. But please finish up your soup." And she just kind of sits there quietly waiting for all of you to finish up the soup course. All of you finish up your soup, drink everything.
Sure.
I'm trying to analyze what kind of ingredients would be in the piece, so I'm just taking.
You can make
analytical steps.
me an intelligence check. No, you know what? This would be closer. Now it should technically be medicine, but yeah, just intelligence, straight intelligence.
Tea, huh?
It has an aftertaste of moon pasties.
Honey.
No, with a 21, with a 21, you can tell it is just peas and more than likely a little bit more butter and salt than per usual. But yeah, it is just straight pea soup, nothing special.
Okay, I'll just write down the ingredients. Probably put like question mark and how much.
Cooking time, temperature.
Yeah,
Making
well,
a
I mean,
recipe on your head.
figure out. I
Sure.
have to. I'm figuring out what this is. But just looking at the lackluster list of ingredients, you can tell this is already
Thank
like.
you.
Yeah, this
Thank
is this is like okay. This is let her have this.
Right.
I'm sure ingredients kind of hard to come by here.
If it's like the
She
recipe that I posted, it's fantastic soup.
laws. French Canadian pea
No,
soup.
pea plus sugar and butter. That seems like it gets very cloying very quickly.
It's like
friend.
that. It's like that, but it's not that. It's not that thick. It's a little bit more watery, definitely.
Let me see. Oh no, salted pork.
Anyways, all of you finish your soup course, and the servants start coming out again to serve the next course, which is a pumpkin. It's a stewed pumpkin salad of some sort. And Lady Fiona just goes, looks at it, just goes, vegetables fresh off the farm for the evening. Please enjoy. My family's been growing pumpkins for many a century.
Interesting.
Okay.
Yeah, let's work on this one.
All right.
So, out of curiosity, where are these farms?
She goes, farms? I grow all of the vegetables. So we grow all the vegetables on our land right here in the water house.
We saw one pumpkin outside.
Oh, the seasons this time of the year is it's not great for harvesting, but we have plenty in store already from the previous harvest.
Interesting.
Mm.
Yeah. So after that, like the moment you see all the vegetables, we just focus on eating the food.
She
Yeah.
sees you all eating, kind of like almost very curious at how you all eat, and definitely looking at the non-humans at the table more so than the humans. That she just kind of like eyes everyone interestingly, and she's just like halfway through the pumpkin salad, and she just looks at you, Soul, and just goes, "So tell me, is that really a turtle shell that you are wearing?"
Yeah. I wouldn't say it's what I'm wearing. It's more like a part of me.
Oh, you can't take it off.
No.
Oh, that wouldn't that be quite cumbersome when you are bathing?
Uh, have you seen a normal turtle before?
She just shakes her head. I've only heard stories. In fact, I've only heard stories about all of you. Dragonborn or dragonkin, as my folk used to say. And she just kind of like looks over towards Feldrin and Runestalker. And you are like almost animalistic, but yet human. Looks at you, Pounds. You are definitely not human. And she looks at you, Summer. But don't worry, I am not like the rest of the Barovians that you might come across. I have lived for many a decades and have seen many a things. Strangers such as yourselves that do not look very similar to the people that live here, I'm more than used to meeting. She smiles warmly.
Yeah, I'm going to
But
insight check that.
what are you inciting?
Whether the image of her being warm is that the genuine? Is that genuine?
Sure, make me an insight check.
Is it possible to make a perception check and see if she shares characteristics with the Barovians we've seen so far?
What kind of characteristics are you looking for?
Um, I guess skin tone, eyes, nose, those kind of characteristics to tell whether or not she's an actual Barovian or an out of towner like us.
Hmm. You can make me a straight perception check for that. But with a 22 insight, you can tell that this demeanor that Lady Fiona Watcher is kind of like giving you, this is more than likely how she speaks to everyone. She has an air of nobility above her, and she almost seems to want to act motherly to everyone. The reasons why you're not exactly sure. It could be a station, it could be other ulterior motives, but she definitely seems invested in wanting you guys to like her.
Understood. Understood.
Yeah.
So doesn't say anything to anyone. She'll just nod along, explain a bit more about turtles.
Really? And she definitely listens to you intently. Like every word you say, she either almost repeats or kind of asks a question about it until she kind of gets in. It's like, oh, I see. So you're able to live in it. It's almost like you're bringing your home everywhere. That is
Yeah,
quite remarkable indeed.
yeah, it's something like that. It's a part of our species.
Your species is very interesting indeed. I wish there was more of your kind here. And she just looks around the table. In fact, I do wish there was more of you all of you all here. I'm sure you all are interested, perhaps, why I may have invited you all to my residence here.
Yes.
And she smiles as she looks at you all and just goes, well, I'm sure the people who have saved our town of Vallaki need not any reason to be commended for their efforts. And she winks at you all. I've heard much things about your actions here in Vallaki after your arrival. She looks again a little bit like surprised that none of you all know this. After all, you saved, you've reclaimed the bones of Saint Andrew and brought them back to the church.
Yeah.
Oh, you know about that.
This is not.
Is Ernst
not.
in view of
She,
us, or is he out
he's
of
not
the
there.
room?
Yeah, he's out of the room. But she just goes, "Is this not true, um, Father? What is his name again? Uh, the father at the church mentioned that some good folk had just came into town, strange individuals that bear no real resemblance to humanity, and yet bore more humanity than most of the people here in this town. You've helped save it by bringing the bones back. They are considered sacred artifacts. In fact,
I am pointedly looking at the dining room door as what thinking surely some of it was what from Ernst. Not all this information was what was hearsay lah. Some of it was good old fashioned spying.
Lady Fiona just continues and just goes. In fact, since you are well such able-bodied people and you are able to save Lucky in its time of need, perhaps you are the people that I need to speak to regarding what I'm about to suggest. Hmm. What do you all know about Baron Vargas?
Let's see.
He's got a henchman that I don't like.
You have met Isaac Strasny?
Yeah.
Yes. Well, might isn't the right word.
But Isaac didn't really meet me yet.
And what about the Baron himself? Anything about Vargas?
So we know about his backstory, his childhood. I think
Do you
that's
now?
pretty. Yeah, child abuse survivor.
Yes.
We never met them.
Yes,
But we never.
it is a sob story indeed. A child getting abused by a horrible father grows up to be a horrible man. It is but as unusual as it becomes.
Yeah, like Other than that, don't really get the whole two festivals in a week nonsense.
Ah, yes, nonsense that is, indeed. Have you attended any of the festivals? They are a waste of resources, don't you think?
Luckily, we have not.
Well, thank good upon your times then, for all of us here in Vallaki suffer under his rule. Oof, the, the laws and the taxes that he's levied against his people, it's almost like he is trying to fleece us of whatever is left of our goodwill.
Really, taxes are
I
good.
personally, I personally know that I would prefer, quite literally, Strad van Zarovich himself to be the mayor of this town.
I'm sorry? Could you repeat?
Strad, have you not heard of the name?
We don't really know much about him, guys, other than
Yeah,
Slave.
it's just I thought that word is
verboten.
Taboo in here.
Taboo. Are you like the lot of the sheep? The ones that fear the words that come out of the Baron's mouth and cause think it to be, well, the truth?
We haven't actually heard any of the words that come out of his mouth. What does he say?
Well, he says a lot of things, much of it's rubbish, quite literally. I would recommend staying away from it. But uh, regardless, he is the Baron, and there are people that are loyal to him, his men, for example. Look, I am an old woman. I no longer have a husband. He left, unfortunately, well, he passed quite some time ago. And all I have left are my two sons to take over the family business. I feel that perhaps my family can do more for this town. You see, I have been talking with people, getting to know the other nobles and the townsfolk that are at least unhappy with things, the way things are in Vallaki. To be very honest, I'm not afraid of this vampire lord that everyone keeps talking about as if he is the literal devil himself. I'll let you know, as she puts her glasses to her eyes. I have met the devil himself, and handsome as he may be, he is no devil.
What
Oh,
is
I
he then?
would, I agree, but I would not underestimate any opponent. It is wise.
what
She
you like?
looks at you, Feldrin, and goes, do you consider Strad von Zarovich your opponent and enemy of your current troop?
We don't know him yet.
I,
I,
and that
I
is the
imagine, I
problem.
imagine that there are
It's the
concerns to be
problem
had.
indeed, because nobody knows Strad. Nobody has met him. Nobody has even had a chance to understand him.
What is he like when you met him?
She stands up for a chair and then looks out the window, almost as if reminiscing a sweet memory of the past. And she goes, when I was 15, I convinced my parents to let me take a trip to the village of Barovia to see if we could make some political connections. Uh, However, young as I was and a little bit wild, I took a little detour to the castle Ravenloft to meet this infamous devil that everyone was so afraid of for myself. She looks at you all and just seeing if there's any surprise in this, she just continues the story. To be very honest, Strad didn't have any real interest in me. I was but a young girl, And at first he but waved me off. He was very gentlemanly, in fact. As I visited the castle, his servants hosted me. I was brought in for a private dinner with him. And, well, I, he was such a gentleman. And you can see her fawn almost for a second. But I know I am not the most beautiful girl in all of Barovia. And I know he wasn't really that interested in me that way, but I have a sharp mind and can be pretty skillful at talking as well for my young age. Strad never really saw me romantically, but we chatted and we talked, and he told me of his past, and he told me how he came here and what he truly desired. And once I truly understood the devil Strahd himself, I no longer feared him. In fact, I pity the fool that ever needed to fear such a charming being that I've met for my first time. In fact, Strahd actually offered me a place amongst, well, his consorts, but I was interested for a little while, yes, but I politely declined and said, perhaps I could adequately assist him in bringing some sort of peace into these lands. You see, they are cursed, yes, indeed, and the curse that is on Strahd himself is, well, it's a delicate matter which I will not like to speak out of turn, but unfortunately, it is quite permanent, and all of us have to kind of learn how to live with it. Strahd has not done anything in the past century, has not made his presence even known to the populace. And perhaps this may be a bad thing, I feel, but all I can see is the fear in people's eyes when they mention him, and I find that to be quite sad indeed. For Strahd is a lonely man inside a monster.
Oh, that is sad.
Regardless, I returned here to Vallaki and told everything about what happened to, well, as many people as could believe me. My parents at first thought I was crazy, but soon they saw my ways and even saw the change in me. I had been lifted up, not like the rest of the Barovians here. My heart felt light. I could see the sunlight coming right through the cloud itself. Looks at the rest of you. But in the recent times, and I've lived through quite a time, believe me, back when Vargas' father was still in power, I've seen hangings and executions of all kinds on my day. But nowadays, sometimes I even wish those times would come back. But I digress. Baron Vargas is a fool, is what he is. He has caused the people of Vallaki to despair and lose hope, quite literally. These festivals of his, they are a draw on our resources that can be used to build schools, to help feed the poor, to do actual good in this town. But no, Baron Vargas needs all the resources to be monitored and headed towards the very making of his next incumbent festival.
So,
And
what is
so,
the story with all these festivals? Why do they have them all the time? Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
it's all right. It is quite, well, To be very honest, I myself have no real idea. But I know this: when someone is scared, they will do anything to make it seem that they are not. And Baron Vargas is very, very afraid of Strahd and whatever he's capable of. But the fool, there is nothing to be afraid of. In fact, I feel Baron Vargas has used this very fear that he's drawn from the people of Vallaki to make things, well, go his way. If you not heard recently, he just dragged some poor sod through the mud just because he laughed at him.
Yeah, I heard about that. That's not cool.
No, it is not cool indeed. I know from the very depths of my soul that Vallaki will be rescued from the darkness and corruption that has overtaken it. I know that we are unable to do anything ourselves, and I am too old to forcibly try. But I believe in the coming of an outsider. She looks at a whole lot of you. Someone who is not Barovian, someone alien from this land. An outsider will come and will help purge the wickedness that is from Baraki and bring the sunlight upon us afterwards. Unfortunately, the burgomaster is corrupted, and there is nothing I can do about it. But you, and she sits back down at the table, puts a spoon to the salad again, and almost starts eating fondly, and just goes, "You are much more able than little old me. Would you aid an ailing old woman, perhaps, in saving this town of Vallaki that she calls home?" You almost see a tear come down her eye. "Would you?" she asks again, almost like in a whisper.
Lady Fiona, assuming that we join your cause, what is it that you expect us to do? Would you have us march up to his door, to his front step, and
She puts up
run
a
his head?
hand. She puts up a hand, immediately cuts you off. She goes, "Wait." Looks up towards the servants, and you see Ernst immediately run into the place, and she just kind of nods her head, and she claps. Ernst just kind of claps his hands into the kitchen. It's like, "Come on, let's go!" And you see the servants all start heading towards this area here, in this kind of like fireplace in the front of the house. They start closing the curtains, kind of like putting up what looks to be like pillows and blankets across it, kind of like soften the sound. They start doing it to the doors as well as the walls itself. And Lady Fiona starts walking into the room. She just goes, "Please, would you all kindly follow me into the study?" As the servants go about basically soundproofing the entire room. Eventually, all of them leave with Ernst Langs kind of like closing the door behind him and just looking towards Lady Fiona. She just goes, "I will call upon you once we are ready." And you can see Ernst looks a little bit fidgety. He just looks at a lot of you like strangers in this house that is her home. Just give you all like just a, I don't say a nasty look, but just kind of like, "You guys do anything, I'm gonna do something back to you." And he closes the door. Um, Inside this soundproof room, Lady Fiona sits down at the table and the dressers. You guys kind of take your place around the couches and the pillows around. And she just goes, "Apologies for the secrecy, but there are many a spies and many a years in even this small town of Vallaki. What we discuss here, I recommend you perhaps don't discuss it with anyone else."
Indeed, this sounds like a very dangerous topic.
I am not a fool. I am old, and I do not have my strength about me. But I know this: as long as Baron Vargas is continuously in power, all of us will suffer. And yes, there might be a void if his power were to suddenly disappear, but there are enough people here that believe that this town needs better. So all I can say is this: if you wish to help this town, I need you to help me kill Isaac Istrani.
His right hand man?
She nods. I, ever since his arrival in this town, the Baron's power, even if it's through mere intimidation, is expanded exponentially. Fear now is not of Strahd, but fear of Vargas's men and his laws. This is not the way. This is not how things were meant to be. If you get rid of his Extrasny, remove his right-hand man, he will have nothing left. The rest of his men will not be enough to cull the anger that he has pulled upon this town and its people. If you're able to do at least that much, return to me. And I promise you, your efforts will not only be in vain.
Sorry?
Kill Isaac Strasny. Once you have completed that, return to me, and I will tell you what to go about to do next.
I'm looking at the rest of my party.
Well, I don't know if killing him in cold blood is a thing that I'll be willing to do, but confronting him and figuring out what the fuck is up his ass, maybe.
Your methods, I will leave it up to you, but as long as you get rid of Isaac Strasny, Baron Vargas will no longer have the power that he holds in this town. The rest of the nobles, as well as me, will hold a council, and we will replace him and make sure that we take back this town for ourselves and for our sons and for our children and for our husbands. Will you all accept this?
Must we accept it now? Can't we think this over?
She goes,
This
no.
this is a very big decision, and outsiders should not interfere with the entire social politic arena.
And yet you already have. If you hadn't found the bones of Saint Andril, this town would have run amok. Vargas and his men would have used the situation to turn it against the rest of us, levied more taxes, more laws, caused more suffering and pain. You have saved us, and yet you have not realized it. And all I'm asking is that you save us a little bit more. The way that things are right now, this town will eventually suffer under his rule. Without Isaac, without Baron Vargas behind all of it, we can finally have our lives back. Do you understand?
What exactly do you want after the Baron is gone?
Truth be told, there is something else a little bit more personal as well. And she sits down almost like hurriedly on the chair in front of her. She starts to sigh. You can see a sadness in her eyes as she goes. Besides my two sons, Nikolai and what's his other name? Shit.
His name is shit. Well, that's terrible.
It's
That's
like
an
naming
abusive
your,
childhood right there.
Definitely it
naming your
was.
kid Scar and wondering why he
Besides,
killed his son.
besides Nikolai, who we named after my husband, and Carl, his brother,
We name after my other
the
husband.
youngest, my youngest daughter, Stella. She was the light of my life. And you can see her look downwards. She closes her hands in a fist. And I thought perhaps that we could mend some relationships and build new ones, and perhaps forge a better tomorrow. I had decided to wed my daughter, Stella, to Vargas' son, Victor. And at first, things seemed to be well, but Stella, and she starts crying in front of you all. She puts her hands to her face. Stella has not been the same. She used to be patient and mannered and eager to please those around her. And yet, after getting married to Victor, when she returned, she, she's not herself.
Insight check. See
Sure.
if she's lying.
Sure.
Oh no.
Same.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Let's see. Oh no. Legendary roll.
I'm gonna do
Six.
that.
Oh boy.
She's telling the truth, guys. Why would she lie?
Wow, you
Why would
guys.
she lie, you
She lie
guys? And
family,
our
guys.
single digit roll.
As you all carefully incite her and then feel guilt about inciting her.
Yeah, she
Oh
is
my
a
god. Everyone just
she is a
Where is your
proud
daughter
fucker.
now?
And I'm going to do one last insight, basically,
Sure.
just to see how
This
much
is
it's
our only
acting.
hope.
Wait. Runestalker?
With a 23,
Never mind.
despite what you may think and how she is acting, this part of the story is very much truthful. The way that she is retelling the story, you can tell this isn't something that's being made up. It is something that painfully happened to her, and she's kind of going through the memory, and it hurts her quite literally just to tell you what happened. And she just goes, "I do not know what Baron Vargas' son did, but that what Victor did to her. But when Stella returned, she was not herself. She just holds herself up in her room now. She keeps herself all the time. And when she does speak, not even it's not even legible. She's I do not know what they've done to her, but she's not been the same, is all I can say.
That is so sad.
Besides killing Isaac Strasny, I want you to find out what he did. What did Victor do to my daughter? And if it was anything untoward, if it's a hair was even touched on her forehead, I want you to slit his throat. And you see her almost like crying through this. Do you understand me?
If he did anything, he'll serve justice.
She just goes, Justice will not bring my daughter back to me again.
No, but neither will killing uh, Isaac.
I don't know. I don't really want to force to volunteer Soul for the job, lah. But then, don't. So, do you think you can do anything for this?
She will say, like I said, this is more personal than it looks. So this part of this plan, I will leave it to your indiscretion.
You may as well ask us to kill all three of them.
She goes, no, unfortunately, that would be That would be too obvious, and it would cause an uproar in this town.
It does not matter. You're asking us to kill his son. Once that happens, he will do anything in his power to enact revenge.
And what about
Does
my
that
daughter?
sound familiar?
And who is going to find her justice? If Victor did anything he so rightfully deserves, the
I
punishment that is coming to him. Do you
I
understand?
understand.
Do you
But
understand?
as I said,
Understand?
I understand.
She just looks at
But
you.
but think of this in a logical manner.
No, Dragonkin. You talk a lot as if you understand and make sense of things, but you do not. You do not, Dragonkin. You do not have a daughter, and you do not have family here that live with you, that breathe with you, that drink with you. And yet you have to face them knowing that you are unable to do anything about the horrors they had faced.
As I said, I am in entire agreement on this.
Dragonkin, no,
It is horrible.
Dragonkin, no.
Will
You do
will
not know.
Will you not let me explain myself?
She goes, no.
I am not
Not
I am
your
not saying that this, but
explanations,
if we were to
Dragonkin.
agree to this, if we were to agree to this, killing the bodyguard, yes. And if something has happened, we would kill the son. But you understand that the Baron will then come after us. And in our defense, we will end up killing him. So why, in essence, are you asking us to keep him alive after that? Because he would come after us. He too would love his son.
No, he will not. Without Isaac Strasny,
what is the guarantee that he will not come after us after we kill his son?
the guarantee is Isaac Strasny. Without him, he has no power to do anything here in this town. His men would basically leave his service.
He may not have power, but he will have something more. Revenge.
Everyone will have an issue with whatever you are doing. This is why we are keeping this a secret, Dragonkin. Look, if you are so very against this, you're welcome to leave right now.
I am not against the idea. I am against this thinking that you must keep the Baron alive.
Teach me or tell me what I need to do, Dragonkin.
Peace, people, please. Felgen, may I steer this direction in a more constructive direction? Would you let me steer this conversation in a more constructive direction? Please.
She just looks at you and does not answer.
Okay, Lady Fiona, how about this? Would you rather have your daughter whole or the Burgomaster's son dead, if you had a choice?
I would obviously prefer my daughter home, but that is not something that you can guarantee me, is it?
Of course not, but at least give us the chance to try to help your daughter rather than immediately going for the destructive route.
Do we have any reason to trust any word that she says?
Leave me. Whatever Victor has done, it is not good in any sort. Find out what it is, what he has done, and then you can decide for yourself then what you think my words to be true or not.
Just know that
guys.
yeah.
Let me say, whatever she wants us to do, it is up to us what we do. Lady Fiona is giving us suggestions.
She is not suggesting.
She smiles when she looks towards you, so, and she goes, finally, somebody that actually understands me in this room.
She's giving it.
Yeah, she gives you the look.
You would accept it if we kept him alive? I do not think that you would accept that.
Elvin, patience. Let me finish. The idea is she's giving us suggestions. We are the ones who's gonna do the fighting. We can do whatever we want, my friend. You don't want him to die? Don't kill him.
And then what? Then she comes after us.
Nobody
That
comes
is
after
what
us.
choice and consequences.
Why would
That
she
is
come
what.
after
That
us?
is the understanding.
Felvin, nobody comes after us. The job is kill Isaac Strasny, find out what happened to the doctor. That's it. It is
Let's
an
find out what happened
investigation.
to the daughter, and then
Exactly.
maybe the kid needs to be killed.
It, yeah, like exactly what Ashley
I
said. The
know
maybe
someone
killing,
does.
maybe not killing is literally whatever we want to
I am
do.
not.
We
I am
find
not arguing against that. I am arguing what is going to happen because of that.
that is not an issue. We don't have to be bothered about it at all. Literally.
Do you what, what are you sure? Because I am bothered by it. I am bothered that we are that we're not thinking about what will happen.
I'm
What will
bothered
happen
that
after
we
this?
are
What could
listening to
possibly
this
happen?
Strahd groupie.
The Baron comes after us with what? 10 guards, 15 guards? How many guards are there in this town?
Roughly 48.
That is still what? Is there still some danger? Is it not?
Right, but then this lady also. Do you have any resources that if we do this and then the mayor comes against us with all his cronies, can you help protect us?
She goes, there are other people that do not believe in his ways. People that I consider my followers.
How many?
Enough to ensure that there will be no wrongdoings in your part. If you're able to assist us in this matter, we will assure you that you and your friends will be safe.
Lady Fiona,
Aye.
do you understand how convenient it is that you managed to find outsiders that could easily become the scapegoat who conveniently kills your, say, what's the word for someone who's against you? I forgot.
Political rivals.
Yeah, your rival, basically. So it's very convenient that, we just somehow land on your lap. And what what's stopping you from turning us into a scapegoat and have us chase out?
Hmm. Hmm.
As if she can.
Also,
How do we explain?
I still have one more question, unfortunately.
She turns to the lot of you and just goes, all right then, if it's necessary, then I will explain. On my trip to meeting Strahd, well, technically it happened after I met Strahd. I made another stop along the Surpool encampment to meet the infamous Madame Eva of the Vestani. Have you heard of her?
Yes.
We even met her ourselves.
Then you know. Madame Eva saw my fortunes that night. And it's hard to explain, but this is what I was told. First, there would be the coming of an outsider to Vallaki, foreign to this land. This coming of this outsider would mark the beginning of a new age in Vallaki.
Oh, hello?
Hello? Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes.
yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, so that's up to the beginning of a new age in Vallaki. And she just pauses right there.
that makes sense. Well,
I would
Hey,
think that you are this people. After all, you've already done, well, you're the only people that's done anything good for this town.
Lady Fiona, did the prophecy ever specify whether this new age is a good new age or a bad new age? Because prophecies are rather fickle like that.
Do you think this current age is any better?
It can always become worse. I gestured to my leg.
So you wish for things to be as they are right now? This constant need for. She just shakes her head. No, 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 it is not necessary. Believe me. Like I said, the devil Strahd himself would be a better Baron than Vargas. No, I am done with Vargas, and so are the rest of Blaki. If you're not going to do this for me, someone else will. But I would be really disappointed because I thought you were the outsiders.
Guys, for us, it's pretty simple. For us, it's very simple. Don't look at this politically or any of that. We are outsiders. We are here in town, just giving us a job. It's either we take it or we don't. We just balance the risk and go for it if that's what we want. And that's regarding the Isaac trust need. Regarding finding out what happened to the daughter, it's an even easier issue. We are definitely going to do that. I mean, it's only an investigation. What happens after that? That's something literally 10 steps ahead. We don't have to even bother about consequences or any of that right now. We can leave that for the future. So the only two issue is, are we going to take the job of killing his ex-partner? That's it.
Actually, there's also one last elephant in the room. This is a job. So what kind of pay? What is the payment?
Finally, somebody's asking the right question.
She goes.
I looked to Fiona, Lady Fiona, with that.
She goes. You weren't looking for payment either when you recovered the bones of Saint Andal. Would this not be in good nature? In good nature of of all of you?
Returning stolen bones is quite different from political assassinations.
Yes, indeed. So how much would you like to be paid?
Would actually
How much is your daughter worth?
That's a different issue.
Wow,
She looks at you and she
that's a
goes,
villainous line, you know that.
I have a suggestion.
"What do you mean
We
by
are,
that?"
after all trying to go back. We're not exactly keen on staying in Barovia. So, and you said you know Strahd, right? Could you could part of this payment be an audience with Strahd?
You see her almost. You almost see her kind of like smile at this, and she goes, "Now that you mention it, I have not sent him a letter in a very long time. I wonder if he would respond." And she kind of smiles again. I will agree to this. If you will aid me in getting rid of Isaac Strasny, help me find out what had happened to my daughter and what's Victor's role in all of this, I will try my best at least to get you your audience with Strahd himself.
If it doesn't work out, we can discuss a different sort of payment. But I am happy to take that.
She puts a finger to your lips, Dragonkin. She goes, "No, no, no, Dragonkin. A lady does not make promises that she does not fulfill and does not keep. You will get what you desire. Now, it is getting late, and I apologize again for all this unceremonious discussions, but I believe we have come to some sort of agreement. Regardless, even if you don't come back to me, I will assume that you have either failed or decided not to take it upon yourself to save this town. But I thank you again for coming here for dinner and listening to an old woman talk about things that, well, dreams, really. Thank you all for coming. And the door opens immediately as Ernst Lanak is standing outside there.
All right, thank you all for your attendance. You may head towards the parlor, or if you are done for the night, the front door is open for you.
Lady Fiona Watcher just starts heading out the door and started heading towards the stairs. Now's the last time to ask her anything last minute. If not, she is gone.
Okay, anyone want something?
Do you have any?
poisoning
Do
somewhere?
you, do you, Lady Fiona, would you have any intel on Isnek's daily habits? Is he ever alone somewhere?
She looks at you and just smiles. No, of course not. I'm not a stalker. She just starts walking up the stairs.
I look at Ernest.
Ernest starts sweating like really hard.
Yeah. We all look at Ernest now.
Ernest looks at you all and just goes, I think
Same
that'll be all
question.
for the evening.
Same question, Ernest.
Just looks at you and stares at you. Thank you for coming tonight. The door is this way. He just points at the door.
And as we're not leaving until you tell us.
You see the servants start immediately coming to the room. Excuse me, sir, excuse me. They start cleaning the floors and and start pulling down the curtains and basically cleaning up the room where you're sitting. Excuse me, excuse me.
I think this is the moment where the lights are turned on and they say party's over.
They turn off
why
all
did you kill the old
the
lady?
fire. they turn off the candles, turn off the lights.
It's time to go. At least we got the hopefully the deal that we need. Hopefully.
No.
I wanted to
No.
talk to the daughter. Actually, is that possible?
Yeah.
No, don't push it.
Why didn't we kill
Well,
the
no,
old
no, no.
lady?
We're gonna do an investigation and maybe kill somebody for her. I want to know what the hell's happening.
Yeah.
So I guess
What?
as you, I guess
Want to
as you
kill
guys are
somebody for a
coming,
start, groupie?
yeah. I guess this as you guys are kind of like heading out the door. One of
Mhm.
you kind of turns around to Ernst, like, "Can we speak to Stella, please, or something like that?" Yes.
I think I'm supposed to
Yeah.
go to us.
Of course not.
Okay.
No one.
Ernst will curtly and politely refuse and just go, "Apologies. Unfortunately, not only is it late, but Miss Stella is she is resting. She unfortunately will not be taking any visitors of that sort.
Are we taking
These
with us?
are," she goes, "Unfortunately, no. These are Lady Fiona watches directions. Nobody is allowed to disturb Miss Stella. She is still recovering from her ordeal."
Oh, we have a lot of healers and touch with the gods. Maybe we can help her recover. I'm not doing anything until I talk to her.
Let me see here.
How is Stella going to get better if you won't let any healers examine her?
He goes, "We have had healers come and take a look at her, and it's not simply an ailment of the sort.
But you
Miss
haven't
Stella
had
has
special
been through
outsider
and
healers.
Yes,
I
exactly.
guess. Unfortunately, I cannot do anything without Miss Lady Fiona's agreement to this. I will need to bring this to her attention."
Okay, let's go see her now. And I'll push past them and
No.
Yes.
No.
Oh.
I don't recommend that, Archis.
He immediately stands in front of you, just goes, "Unfortunately, the upper landing is only for the residents of this house. Guests are meant to stay downstairs."
okay, go get her because she's asking a lot of us, and I wanna figure this out now. Otherwise, I'm sure other people would be very interested in what we just found out tonight.
Oh, honey.
He just looks around and just goes, "Are you trying to blackmail us?"
No, I'm not trying to blackmail you. I'm telling you, these are consequences to actions. You asked her to do something, you didn't give us all the.
You are weaponizing my bullshit.
I want to know what the fuck is going on. I want to talk to this woman to see what possibly Victor could have done and how Isaac falls into any of this.
You can make me one persuasion check and we'll see whether it works.
I'm gonna do an intimidate check because I've been intimidating. Or I can.
I will
He
give
is
you the
trying to
intimidation check,
blackmail.
but I will increase the DC for it to
Guidance.
no guidance right now, unfortunately. With a 13, as you try to intimidate your way into a gentleman's household, basically into this place, he immediately puts his hands to the staircase and like,
like stops you from moving past. Like, no, look, if you don't stop this right now, I'll call the guards. All right?
Which guards?
We can call the guards.
The
They'd
guards
be
led
interested.
by Izza?
And you see the servants immediately, like 3 of them immediately start running out onto the road.
Oh my God!
We're
No,
gonna have
what are we
interesting
doing?
things.
Stop! This is not. This is bad. Even I, as a scholar, can tell this is terrible. This is a bad idea.
No, because I don't trust anybody, and now she's trying to get us to kill the
head of the guard,
guards.
I don't trust her either, but it doesn't mean I'm doing this. This is.
And she's
a
calling the
little-
guards
this-
to
no,
stop
not.
us from.
The servants, a few of the servants have run out to call guards. Are you still trying to push past?
I've never said I was pushing past. I was just telling him what
All
was
right.
going to happen.
Okay, sure. So you stand there, and he's just holding his ground. Just goes, this is very unreasonable. Lady Fiona invited you to dinner, and this is how you treat your host. This is incorrigible. It is incorrigible. And
Ernst, please. We are trying to help Lady Stella. Can't you let? But we cannot do that if we cannot even see what kind of nature. What's the nature of her suffering?
I don't care. You're telling me. I can't
So you
let you
just-
in without Lady Fiona. No, I can't.
and you see at this point in time what looks to be at least 6 guards come right around the corner, along with some servants.
No. This is enough. Can we please leave? Please.
We'll be back tomorrow.
This is not sensible. This is not logical.
Fine.
Guards let's hear something interesting.
I kind of wish that we get to go quietly so I can sneak around, but I guess I can't.
All right.
Well,
The
we can
servants
sneak
are
back into the house
outside.
tonight.
Yeah, you can totally do that if you want to. But 6
All right, let's
town guards are starting to come heading towards your end. And one of these servants are kind of pointing like towards you guys.
Hey, what's going on there? What's the commotion?
We are just finishing a party. We are leaving now.
Are all of you leaving?
I'm leaving. I'm not. I'm just looking at Rune Soccer pointedly as like, let's leave. What you can't get, especially to Rune Soccer, is like, if we die, we don't get paid.
I guess I have to.
We're leaving. I tell her I'll be back tomorrow at noon. I expect what I expect. And
He just goes, you should have spoken to Miss Fiona about this. This is very rude. Just don't do this again. All right?
Mrs. Fiona got up and left in the middle of a conversation. That's rude.
It's Lady Fiona to you. You say her name properly.
You said Mrs. Fiona just now.
No, it's Miss Fiona.
Yeah, is it?
Well, technically, it'd be Miss Fiona.
His hands already.
Technically, it'd be Miss Fiona, the way he called it. Yeah. And he just like,
Oh, no, I did not. Look, lady,
Fine.
Lady
Lady
Fiona-
Fiona, we'll be back to talk to her tomorrow. Let her rest. She had a long night. It's probably draining her emotionally. You're being unreasonable.
you're being unreasonable.
I'm talking. Shut up.
Uh,
You're getting cranky. You got to go to sleep tomorrow. Wake up, have some coffee, have some tea, whatever you have. I'll be back at noon. We're gonna discuss this further, and prep Stella to be talked to. And then I leave without saying anything else. I have
Yes.
spoken.
As Sol is leaving, next time you would like to meet us, try not to follow us around town.
I didn't know how to approach you all, and you were quite intimidating, like that lady over there.
You're lucky. You're lucky. This is the face you're looking at, not the other one.
That is the intimidation for you, then.
This is why I don't like the woman nowadays. They think
too much of themselves. Really, nobody's like Lady Fiona
Wow,
nowadays.
Actions and consequences, Ernst.
wow.
That is what happens.
Can we please leave now?
Yes,
After that-
leave.
after the
Let us
problem.
leave.
Yes, yes, you guys are escorted nearly out of the house by guards themselves. The servants like kind of point towards you all. The guards just give you all an eye, but they don't seem to pursue you or anything as you guys start heading out. Yeah, Ernst does come out and does seem to kind of talk to them and just kind of like settle whatever is happening. But yeah, nothing, nobody comes chasing after you. It is evening right now by the time you guys finish up dinner and had your talk and everything, probably around like 8, 9 o'clock. 8:30, 9 o'clock. Yeah. So
Could I just ask a
this,
question? Because
sure.
there was a lot of information and I seem to have missed the part. Why does
Yep.
she want Isaac dead?
Isaac
God
is
wants
the
to
right hand
live.
man of Vargas. Yeah, he is basically the show of power, the only
Okay,
source
so
of
she
power
just
that
wants
you
to kill him for political reasons.
Yeah,
Yes.
him is political.
I mean, Isaac is his muscle, and she says once Isaac is dead, everyone, the guards will all disband, and the burgomaster will just be by himself to enforce his own rules.
Okay, yeah, that's what I thought, but I was getting confused a bit with Victor.
Daughter?
the
So
son.
let's figure
Yeah.
out what Victor did, and then if he needs to be arrested or brought to justice, whatever happens, happens, and then maybe Isaac will fight.
I don't know. The way I see it is that once we kill Victor, the Baron has no reason to.
Well, you know,
I didn't say we were gonna kill him.
you're not gonna kill Victor. You just chill your horses. Don't think of the extreme yet of yet. You can plan for the extremes, but if they don't happen, then you're just doing a lot of nonsensical thinking. So what I will say is this: yes, she has asked you for your assistance to kill Isaac Strasny. How you wish to go about doing that is up to you. You will definitely be against the Baron Vargas's forces, but if you are able to do at least that, the people that are on her side in this town will basically be on your side, is what she's saying. So you don't have to worry about repercussion there once they have basically taken back this town for the people, so to speak. Other than that,
Well, if we somehow end up keeping Victor alive, would that be also a problem? I don't think so, right?
it is up to you to decide. But whatever it is, she is asking you to investigate, and if Victor has anything to do with it, make him pay is all she's asking. And it's a very simple request of this old grandmother who basically had had something happen to her youngest daughter, doesn't have a husband, and basically like no power in this place right now besides like you guys helping her.
So, like, we've been killing Strat groupies all this while. Why are we
Yeah.
helping this one?
And she seems to be like she has some sort of connection.
Because she's
with Strat.
rich.
No, the way she was talking about Strahd as if he's also a victim of this curse as well. The way that
There's
she's
like
talking about him.
difference with Strahd helping her.
Just so you guys understand, everything that we've killed that are related to Strahd isn't actually related to Strahd.
Really? For real?
Like we've killed the druids and all of that, right? But none of that, nothing has to say that Strahd ordered them to attack us.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, technically, like the vampire spawn and the Druids that worship Strahd, they say they all serve Strahd, but technically they are not part of Strahd's plans at all. We were just, I don't know.
Well, he seems
No,
to be his lord.
I don't think he specifically ordered like them to come after us in particular.
Let me be
Whatever
specific.
that may be.
Let me be specific. They might be thinking that they're working for Strahd. Strahd may not be the one hiring them.
What were you about to say, Pounce?
Well,
If you open your mouth and say chosen one more time,
yes, I am the chosen one, though.
But the chosen one thinks otherwise.
Yeah, you haven't been chosen. You don't know.
oh god.
You've been chosen by a
Right.
tree that killed you.
Hold on. There's this one point about the prophecy that Lady Fiona said she got.
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
Yeah,
about
what
the
if
new
I
age
am the
thing.
outsider? that brings new age by killing
That,
Strahd.
that is a part I'm worried about. Also.
What
New
I
age,
want to say is the fact that yes, they're not direct, under the direction directly by Strahd, but the things that happen to them is by Strahd. Is it not?
No idea. Like literally,
there are many. There could be many explanations for that as well.
The
But
tree,
again,
the druid being driven
Yeah,
out.
the winery people and the inn people seems to be very against Strahd.
yeah, like I said, it's okay to be against Trump. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just that she's the first person that actually had contact with Trump.
And again,
not gonna trust that.
the way that she talked about him, it seems to imply that Strahd is a victim.
Yeah,
So that's
Yeah,
Then
yeah.
why
I
is
doubt
our
Nobilis
beautiful
can be
victim
good.
chasing Irina? Is he not?
Yeah,
Is that why she's not running away?
Who?
Irina
Irina?
Yeah,
No, I
Irina
think
was
it was
beaten by
very-
a Strahd.
with the bite
Bitten
with
by
the bit
a-
mark.
a vampire that we know. If
Oh,
somebody is bitten by Strahd, you really think Strahd will just let them running around? Huh?
I don't know. I think Strahd's
Strahd's
the kind who let his talk. Just the type to play with his food before he eats it.
All I can say is we don't know. So for me,
No, we
Strahd
can-
is something that's 10 million miles away. I'm not going to waste my time thinking about that. It's all what about now?
It's like 2 days
It's fair.
away.
No, like I said, I'm more worried about this current situation. Like I said, when yes, I know not to think about the worst case scenario, but I honestly don't see I don't know if the best case scenario is any
Leave the
better.
town.
Yeah, for us, it's not that big of a thing because we can just walk away anytime.
Yeah.
We have to
Just-
understand that we can just walk away.
We leave the town. That's fine.
Yeah, that's
I suspect we may not be able to, considering that we are now being fingered by.
no, we can still leave. Literally, we can just pack our stuff.
I
and
didn't
walk away.
say anybody could finger me.
Hey, who's fingering?
Wow, wow, whoa, whoa, whoa.
I mean,
Hey, no.
I don't even know.
So just to confirm, at most it will discuss on how the hell, if, when, or what we want to kill either. That is one route, and second is investigate Victor, right?
Well, Isaac, in that one I'm okay. I'm okay with. Actually, to be honest, it makes logical sense. Killing Isaac, let them have the power back. After that, if they hang the Baron and the son after that, fine. But if we start, or if she's expecting us to do to kill the son for her, she has another thing coming.
Yeah, that doesn't matter. I don't care what he wants. So expecting
No,
doesn't
yeah.
matter. I'm not curious.
Only in agreement on one part. Let's say it.
Also, the important part is what happened to the doctor. That's the key. Like,
Yeah,
is
we
it a
need to.
disease?
Yeah, we
Is
need
it
to
a
beat her.
curse? Is it a mental illness? Whatever. What's the situation? Also, that's the reason why he wants to investigate Victor. Everything else is just secondary for so.
I don't know. Just like even if it is fingered as guilty, I would rather not we don't kill him. At least not by our hand. Let the public do the lynching and all that.
That one is honestly something we can deal with.
Yeah, I'm okay with it. I'm okay with that outcome actually.
Yeah, no, that is the best possible outcome. We only kill Isaac, that is as intended. We
Then we kill the old
investigate,
lady.
find out if Victor is guilty. We do not kill him. We leave him to whatever they want to do, and we stay out of it. Whatever consequences that happens falls on their heads.
Yeah, but remember, if we do this, we might be delivering Vallaki to pro-Strahd loyalists.
Not our
Again, that one.
And Irina will have to
I don't.
move.
I don't know. Is the current Baron is also technically for Strahd also, right?
No,
Or
he isn't.
No, he is very
the current
anti-Strahd.
Yeah,
That's why
the current Baron
including-
is anti-Strahd, but the way he goes about it is very oppressive, and that is what Lady Fiona is trying to stop.
To the devil you know, Baron Vargas.
Yeah, this is a that's why we are in a very tricky situation right now. Do we, because obviously we don't want to support Strahd, and if we do this job, we might be doing just that, directly or indirectly.
There's a simple way to look at this. We kill buggers, hand it to Fiona and her nobles. If they make problem, we kill them as well.
How
The
about we
genocide route, eh?
investigate
Yeah, that's the best thing actually.
The genocide
we
route, huh?
investigate Lady Fiona a bit further?
Well, 4 people is hardly a genocide.
For goodness sake.
Come on, if we do this,
if we
kill
do
everything, if we kill everything inside, we will be murder hobos.
We already are.
No, we are not.
Not
what do
really.
you think we're
We
doing?
are not killed.
Okay, we're not murder hobos. We're just currently.
We're
killing
just
for-
scared people.
You just killed more things than most people in this place. That's all.
Well, if we kill
We
them,
never
it
killed
would actually be
anyone. It was
murder
never trying to kill
nobles.
us. We never
Yeah,
anything that was
I-
not trying to kill us first.
That's
I
true.
really think that we really should investigate Lady Fiona first, because the moment we go to Izak or Victor, then the ball would start rolling, and we would start.
No,
That
the
is a
ball
very
will
good
roll
point.
as soon as Izzy finds us. Again, he is after
Oh, we
us
just
now.
tell Isaac about Fiona.
It's fine, but like I really think we should investigate Lady Fiona first, make sure that she is what she is, find her daughter, make sure she is fine, and see if she has anything like skeletons in her closet, and then we go after Victor and find out what the fuck he did to the daughter. Then Isaac.
I think that's a good idea. I think we should figure out who the hell this Fiona woman is, and then I think we should also figure out what happened between Victor and Stella, because that's a thing that if he like beat her to the point that she's like catatonic now, that's something that as a paladin, I can't let that just go, right? Because you'd be hiding behind.
Yeah,
I agree, but are we as in are you gonna then kill him on the spot or just let the villagers do whatever they want?
we can expose Victor's
We are the
crimes if
hands
he
of
committed
justice.
any, and then let
There's a
public
printing
touch him.
house. We can do character assassination.
Well, not that. That's fine as long as we're not the ones. As long as we're not the ones that are really putting him to the spot.
There are other ways.
Yes, I agree. Other ways, as long as it's
Depends
not
on what
us.
he did. Because if he did something like that involves demonic possession or something like that, he dies.
We'll see about
Not
that
on.
first.
Please not on the. Please not by our hand at least. Not by our hand.
Yeah,
Well, it won't be
that
by
much
your
I-
hand.
yeah.
It'll be by my hand because it's
okay.
my oath that I've given to my god.
Archis, this is a wait and see basis. We better not make any judgments. But then, if the worst does come to pass, like demonic possession, or maybe he did beat her up to death, to near death, then yes, I'll even join you in punishing him. But
Perfect.
if we don't, but only until we find out the truth. Nothing until then.
I need to find the truth. We will do an inquisition.
My priority is
Nobody
Fiona.
expects that.
Yeah.
Other than that, Eddie, after this, I would say we'll go back to the inn. I wanted to test this. I completely forgot.
Mm-hmm.
I want to try a remove curse on myself to see if the lycanthropy is gone.
Are you casting remove curse?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's go see.
Thank you.
Ooh, instantaneous more. As
Try
you
remove myself.
your hand onto the wound, that old age wound that you first received when you first entered into Barovia. You start casting the remove curse spell. I'd like you to please make me a spell casting check. So wisdom check.
Oh hi.
Oh shit!
Nice.
23. You start imbuing all the divine magic that you can into this spell that you have and try to end this curse that is afflicting you. You see the black tendrils start to seep backwards reverse all the way back to the wound, up your arm, back into the hole itself, as you are basically holding the cursed magic that is lycanthropy within your hand. You're holding it right now. Just rip it right out of your body. You feel your entire body almost go like limp for a second as you feel the curse finally lifted from your body. As you disperse the rest of it off into the abyss, you are no longer affected by the lycanthrope.
Do me, do me, do me!
It's
Wait,
TV4
wait.
now.
Soul does this in
TV4 now.
private. Soul does this in private.
Mm-hmm.
Lube up
Soul does this in
and then
private.
do you?
So nobody else knows this yet.
I would actually go to.
And then after that, Soul will be like, okay, so it's possible, but it's not easy. All right. He doesn't say anything to anyone.
All right.
Oh,
So
no, never mention it to anyone. Okay.
Yeah, not yet. Not yet.
before we end anything else
Okay.
for tonight, as you guys kind of like head back to the Blue Water Inn
I
and
would
head back into the tavern,
go to Martikov.
which Martikov?
Who's there? The Erwin, right?
Damien? Erwin? Yeah, the husband. Okay,
Damien.
we'll leave that for the next session because as you guys come in, you immediately see two very drunk young men in the corner, kind of like taking shots of ale. And as one kind of like fumbles and just drops in his shirt, the other just kind of like takes the glass and kind of splashes in his face. Ah, Carl, you suck! And you see Nikolai just kind of slap him on the back of the hand. Oh, fuck you, brother! You think that was good? I can go all night. Danica, another former else coming. And Danica just kind of gives you all an eye. She shakes her head and she just brings the ale over towards the two. She just goes, "We walk through the brothers are here again. Hope they don't cause too much of a mess." And as you look over, you realize you are looking at the sons, two sons of Lady Fiona Watcher. Nikolai Watcher and Carl Watcher are there drinking at Blue Water Inn. As you guys come upon this scene, the camera pans away, back across, right on top of Vallaki, and zooms back in again onto the waterhouse. In the evening of the night, Lady Fiona, in her dressing sleeping gown, heads over to the fireplace and starts penning a letter. It starts with the words "dear," and she writes an S almost very intricately before she stops the pen and puts it down and heads over to a desk where the table is. She pulls out a black journal and looks through it, and she almost smiles as she's reading through its contents. And as she looks at the last bits of excerpts, whatever's written in the book, the camera zooms in one more time. And at the bottom, there are words written by Lady Fiona herself, as they say, quite literally, what is this? Hold on, where is it? Oh no, I lost the page already.
Oh no, what happened?
Suddenly disappeared. Oh, Lady Fiona, where are you?
Maybe she's gone a little senile and misplaced her stuff.
Maybe she went to the bathroom.
What was so she's given you guys that part. Where is the other? I'll give you a second. Yeah. Okay, here. So in the journal, the words written in very beautiful cursive handwriting are: first, there would be the coming of an outsider to Vallaki, foreign to this land. The coming of this outsider would mark the beginning of a new age in Vallaki. And as the hands trace down the sentences, it comes to a second paragraph right after that. And it says, the coming of the outsider would also bring a great ruin, a purge on the town like none other. But when the ruin was done, the blood of the outsider would shed sunlight on Vallaki once again. And with that, that is where we'll end tonight's session, The Curse of
Wait,
Strahd. Thank you all very much for joining in. We'll see what happens, what you guys decide to do, who you investigate, and what your actions are in the town of Vallaki. Next time on A Curse of Strawberry Van. Thank you all for joining in.